Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Pro Series Valorant, brought to you by AORUS and AMD. This is the grand finals. All the teams that have participated in this tournament have worked really hard to get here. And today, the final two contestants, Force One Esports and Global Esports, will be locking horns with each other. With me, I have Mamba Senor and K18. How are you guys doing today?
I'm good. I'm great. And we have Ketan as well, who's I've had the pleasure to share the desk with almost after a year and a half, a year and 8 months, I guess. But it's a pleasure to see his face. Crips, you and I, we keep on working together. So, Ketan, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you both? I hope you both are doing well.
Except for a couple of added pounds in the lockdown, I think we're all doing fine.
Well, those pounds were never a problem for me. I was always, having them.
Hey man, we all like food. Let's let's not even go there. But yeah, obviously today's matchup is going to be between Global and Force One, two powerhouses in the Indian circuit, and obviously Global being led by Hell Ranger, the feisty leader that he is. It is going to be an interesting matchup for me at least.
Oh yeah, definitely. And not just that, Force One Esports have also shown massive amounts of improvement. There used to be this one team that everyone thought was an easy target, but no, that perception has definitely changed so far. Global Esports obviously have established themselves at the top of the food chain as the apex predator, but Force One Esports, they want that title. They want to steal it away from them.
Oh, no doubt about that. But Ketan, I want to come to you and I want to know. You've seen both these teams. We've seen Global, we've seen Force One, and we've seen them fare out against each other as well. But what are your expectations? Obviously, it's a grand final, a best of five. All all the maps are on the table. And do you think is it going to go to the distance?
For sure, like when it's come to you can say 5 game show for the finale. Like it's always come down to the how better you hold your nerves, better than opponents. So it is just you just have to keep very simple. In finale, you just have to take one round by round and you'll get across the line. Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And Crips, again, coming back to you because we've had the opportunity to follow them for a longer time because we've seen them transition, and some of these
Hmm.
players actually have been around for I don't know more than a decade now. But we have
Yeah.
some new guns on deck, some players which are not that experienced comparatively, but in their own right, they are mammoths of the game. So, what are your expectations?
I kinda am excited to see these new young guns just topple the old guard. Yeah, sure, some of the players in global esports, and I mean global esports only over here. I will say that Force One Esports is a younger, experienced team. Some of these players have been around for the better part of a decade, but honestly, because Force One Esports have not been around for too long, since the CS:GO days, Valorant is a fresh start for them, and then everyone starts at the same page. Everyone starts, at the same point. So it turns into somewhat of a fair battle. Now, it's Global Esports who have lots and lots of experience, and then there's Force One who have new ideas in mind, which they want to put up against the better, the older players. Let's take a look at how these teams have fared out so far, what their journey has been like throughout the tournament.
Absolutely. And we have the upper bracket and the lower bracket. A pretty standard format, not going to lie about that. And it's actually quite nice because the winners, obviously, they have an additional chance of making it to the finals. And it really helps you to be good in the game. And it doesn't incentivize being average or mediocre or bad because if you lose those initial matches, you end up in the lower bracket. It's do or die. There's no coming
Yeah.
back from there. And I believe that this is probably the best way to go forward. But the one thing that I really liked about the Pro Series, Ketan and Crips, is the fact that we get to bring our Desi element to it, so that we can have a conversation in Hindi at the same time in English and entertain our audiences. But Ketan, coming to you once again, दोनों टीमें आपने देखा किस तरीके से आई है ऊपर, and if you had to bet your money, if you had to choose one, okay, I know बहुत मुश्किल है, तो आप कौन सी टीम को select करते?
I would go with Global Esport because मैंने देखा हुआ है Hell Ranger को पहले भी खेलते हुए. Like he was a true beast when it comes to gaming and all. I've saw a few of his Counter Strike matches. Like he was great with it. And let's see, like if he's a captain over here, so for sure there are many things to come up for this final. And if it is best of 5, then like in any of the match we can see wonders.
वो absolutely. And Crips, सबसे बेहतर चीज ये है कि जो जैसे केदर ने कहा, he's not just beast inside the game, he's a
Mm-hmm.
beast outside as well. जितने ज्यादा emotions दिखाते हैं, we've seen him at LAN events, most
Yeah.
of the you can quite literally call him the poster boy for most of these events because आपको जिस तरह के emotions वो stage पे दिखाते हैं with all the screaming and shouting and the hyping up as well. It shows his passion. I still remember this one distinct incident from 2018, if I'm not mistaken, 2018 Mumbai, and they were actually supposed to win the tournament because they were playing against good players, no doubt, अच्छे players थे, लेकिन they were not playing under an organization, the opposition that is, and काफी ज्यादा नजदीक आए थे tournament जीतने के. In आखिरी match में, just by a couple of rounds margin, we actually saw him lose and the entire team, and he was crying because his mother was there supporting him in the audience, and it was a very emotional journey. I still remember the manager had to go in and console him, and that really shows how much passion he brings to the game.
Yeah, we've seen him scream, we've seen him laugh, we've seen him belittle the opponents, and we have seen him be humble. Sometimes we've even seen him cry in his low moments. Will he hit those lows this time? I don't think so, because given the way their journey has been in this tournament, Global Esports has already defeated Force One Esports before. They faced them in the upper bracket finals, and over there, Global Esports was they were able to win with a pretty convincing margin. They won 2-0. Although one of the games did go the distance, but still, a 2-0 is a 2-0. Let's see if Force One Esports have learned enough from their previous games so that they can make a comeback over here. Maybe they can exact revenge.
This reminds me of the school days. A win is a win by an inch or a mile, even though it's a movie dialogue. But doesn't matter. As long as the score reads 2-0, I think that works. And honestly, him crying, I wouldn't really call it a low moment. The fact that he made it to the grand finals itself is a massive deal.
Big deal.
And
Yeah.
obviously it's a big deal. And the one thing that I've really enjoyed about Hellranger is unke emotions, because wo ऐसे कभी घबराते नहीं. He doesn't shy away from showing what he feels. And I believe, Ketan, that is one of the most important qualities in a leader as well.
Yeah, for sure. When you're leading the team, you have to keep each and everything behind, like emotions and stuff. Like if you're going to the battleground, and if you're playing esports, like in particular, you have to be with the team and you have to be with them in their lows also, because eventually you're not going alone with that feeling, and you have to come back into the next tournament as a team, because you cannot just broke down and you are just going to make another team. So like losers are the future winners. That is the theory I believe in, and hopefully um, whichever team loses today, they go with this code, they can win in future.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We all believe in that, and that's actually quite a good way to look at things. If you lose today,
Yeah.
that's okay. That is just setting you up for success tomorrow. And while global esports, they have a lot of experience. You can't if you were to put in cumulative experience amongst these players, I think that would add up to around 30-35 years, and that's no joke. That is absolutely no joke. But with Force One as well, we have fresh blood, a different approach to the competitive side of things. And I've seen these players. I have had the opportunity to talk to them as well, and trust me, they're scary. Crips, on the good day, they can take down anyone.
Yeah, Force One Esports. You're right. I mean, this whole dialogue that you cracked about the losers today will be the winners tomorrow, this kind of stuck with me. You see, Force One Esports were the losers at one point. They did lose against Global Esports. So I'm kind of excited to see what they bring to the table today. And they are a team that adapts really, really quickly. They learn very quickly. And these guys are eager. They want to draw blood and they want to exact revenge. And yeah, sure, Global Esports might have 35 years of cumulative experience or something like that. But then these guys, they did not face them long ago. 35 years of experience versus, I don't know, 72 hours of just plotting revenge and planning how to take down global esports. I think that the scales don't match up evenly over here, but hey, it does count for something.
It does absolutely. And I actually wanted to build this up as David versus Goliath, but I can't. I really can't. While we have global esports, which are giants in their own right, I believe Force One is not a force that you can take lightly. You can't. It's not a force that can be reckoned with. And in the meantime, let's hop on the map, E2, and see what's happening inside the game while we build this up and talk about both these teams. And I actually wanted to talk about the lineups as well with you, Cribs, especially because some of these players are looking really, really promising. But let's move on to the veto first, the map veto, and we actually have all the 5 maps, if I'm not mistaken. Moving on to the moving on to the first map, if I'm not mistaken, that is Icebox, because it was just happening as we started off. So I'm not quite sure if that is going to change, but let's see what happens.
I think Global Esports might pick up Icebox. Yeah, I agree with you. So I guess we're gonna play a little bit of open sesame game over here, where we build it up and then it opens up one by one, kind of like what's that Disney show? Kind of like Aladdin. They open up the vaults one by one, and there you go. Global Esports, they pick up Icebox first. Now, if I'm not wrong, and if Post One Esports is supposed to pick the next map, I think they will pick up Split. It has been one of their strongest maps. They do pretty well in it. But will they still play Split against Global Esports? It's not like they have a choice. It is 5 maps, so they might as well just go for it right now. They want to have one of their strongest maps unleashed right at the start. Oh, it's Haven, in fact.
Interesting.
Okay, yeah, that's very interesting. I was fully expecting a split, but this is a little switcheroo.
This is a switcheroo, no doubt about that. But I believe, hey, Icebox, we've seen global, they have some really neat strats. And obviously, there's no question about teamwork and the synergy on the map. But Haven, again, we've seen global play pretty good on Haven. So I'm not sure if this was a curveball by Force One, because you wouldn't expect Haven to be at least the second map come up.
Yeah.
But if they're feeling confident, if they feel it, then why the hell not?
Yeah, Global Esports going for Ascent. No surprises over there. Ascent has literally been the most played map in this tournament, and everyone picks it up at some point or the other. I'm just glad that it's at third place and not, in map 4 or map 5 where it could be the decider, because Ascent is, pretty standard ground. It's middle ground. Both the teams are good on it. I believe the reason Force One might have picked Haven is because they probably have researched about how Global like to play. But then you got to keep in mind, Global is a team that, likes switching things up. Now
That is
that
true.
Global have picked a percent, what do you think the next map is going to be? I still feel that Split will be here. So it's really just down to either Split or Bind, right? It just depends which one of these maps will come
I mean,
first.
yeah, it's a 50-50, no doubt about that. But I'm going to go with Bind. I'll tell you why. Because Split is still, I believe, neutral territory for both these teams. And
Nice.
I'm actually not that surprised. I'll tell you that. Because Bind, yet again, it could go either way, sure. But I believe Split is truly the neutral entity over here. So we have all the 5 maps: Icebox, Haven, Ascent, Bind, and Split. No doubt about that. But talking about the entire veto process, global, I believe Icebox is going to be fairly, if not very easy for them. The scoreline might be 13-8, even though we've not even come to predictions. But I feel that Icebox might just go global's way and they might inch it. Haven onwards is going to be a difficult task, because if Force One manages to pick Haven, Ascent, Bind, Split, I'm not entirely sure. But Ketan, what do you think?
I guess for the first map, Icebox, that global pick, like that was surprising, because like when you are in a good, you can say in a good zone, and you hit always your you can say best maps. You always want to hit your best maps initially, so that you can get the lead in the tournament if it's you can say 5 match decider. So, but at the end, I think Split is someone's you can say strong map. I don't know why they took Icebox in the first go.
That's a good point as well. But then again, we've seen global esports do some really crazy things. And Crips, I'm actually going to come to you and I'm going to tell you this one incident. I still remember I was watching global esports play in a tournament, and this was
Hmm.
literally, I think, within a month of Icebox coming out, and global really started grinding it out. And the one strat that I saw was, again, yet so simple, but also so effective. So their entire B split depended on the fact that your Sage goes through mid, puts up a wall on the B bomb side, which gives you just enough space to plant the bomb, plant the spike towards mid, and then they keep mid control. They cut off rotation from mid. The only way the defenders can rotate is from the defender's base. And that was actually quite brilliant, even though it was so simple. You don't have to worry about snowman, you don't have to worry about taking B main control. And that just goes on to show the creativity that global esports actually have, and the mind of Hellranger. We all know that at some point in his career he was the best mid-round caller as well. But in Valorant, obviously that meta has shifted a bit. You do need a lot of information, you do need a lot of map control, and there are abilities that you can't even imagine. You might have camera in a really awkward spot, you might have the SOA recon dart coming in, which gets you so much information. But I'm really excited to see what happens in game number 1 and game number 2. Game number 3, 4, 5 are going to be 50-50 in my opinion.
Yeah, you're right. And because he's the mid round caller, one of the best of them at that as well, he has some of the strongest players by his side. And I gotta admit, Kappa has been one of the most impressive players that I've seen so far. The timing of his utility usage is perfect. He usually plays the Sova. If not the Sova, he's gonna play the Sky or any other information, gathering character. But the timing of his recon darts has always been so spot on that every time their opponents, no matter who they are, they always have their plans foiled. They always have to rethink on the go. And it's not just the fact that he's a brilliant innovator, he sometimes forces mistakes out of his opponents, which I think is the most golden virtue that anyone can have. Forcing your opponents to make mistakes is a sure shot way to win.
They say you can't buy experience. You absolutely can't buy experience. And some of the players, some of the budding players were probably in diapers when Kappa actually started playing in the competitive circuit in India, especially in Mumbai. So, he has a ton of experience. I can't stress on that enough. But hey, let's not overlook the fact that RVK and some of these boys can actually put on a great show as well. And trust me, these guys are scary. I've played against them once, only once, and I can still feel the taste of lead in my teeth.
Oh, wow. That's not a fortunate experience. That's not a, how do I say this? A good experience, I would say. This team, no matter who they are, no matter where they come from, they have a decent amount of experience, probably not as much as global esports. But hey, they mash it up with raw firepower, they mash it up with raw talent. I don't know how this will go on. Kedan, what are your thoughts on this one?
So basically, whenever it come down to experienced team versus non-experienced team, I always go with the newcomers because they always have something X factor that experienced team never have you can say faced against. So the you can the fact Mamba was addressing the point Mamba was just addressing, that was just like uh, exactly what I meant to say. Like the firepower that they have, like obviously the experienced team might calm themselves down, but the firepower if force when uh, they can show those, you can say, never saw you can say the
Never seen moments and never seen the
yes,
firepower, because
exactly.
there's usually, any underdog that comes in as a dark force, because you don't know what to expect. And we are going to talk a lot more about this because these two teams are not going anywhere. But and ladies and gentlemen, neither are you guys. But right now it's time for a really short break. When we come back, we'll be back with live action.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Pro Series Valorant, brought to you by AORUS and AMD. Thank you so much for waiting. We have two of the best teams in the country about to lock horns with each other right now. We've already discussed the brackets, we've already discussed the map veto, and we are now about to jump into the first game, Icebox. Mamba, Ketan, what do you guys expect? Let's start with you, Mamba.
Actually, let Ketan go first because hey, we are going to be in the game while we're going to be casting.
Sure,
Ketan obviously is the guest on the panel, so Ketan, why don't you go first?
I'm expecting Force 1 to get 1-0 and then for sure Global Esports will come back. But may the Force be with Force 1.
I like that. I like that. I love Star Wars references.
Yeah, that's cheeky. But hey, I like how Ketan is. I'm actually pretty similar to Ketan with regards to being a hopeless romantic with just having sheer optimism about the underdogs, and that's something that I've always rooted for. Makes sense why I've always rooted for underdog teams in sports as well, in normal and conventional sports, because I know they're going to lose. Most likely, they might not be able to walk away with a victory. But when they do, boy, it feels good. But let's hop on to the first game, the draft as well. And Ketan, while we look at the draft, I'm going to thank you because, hey, the pre-match show is always fun and we get to talk about a lot of things. So, we'll see you around in a bit, Ketan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right. So, coming back to the draft over here, Crips. Viper, no-brainer, absolute no-brainer. We're going to see a Sova as well, which is not going to be a surprise. But Chivi is going to be on Sky. And here's a question. Are we going to see a single duelist coming from Global?
Yeah, I think one of the duelists definitely has to be the Jet. Of course, this is Jet's home turf. Knight Rider has been always playing that character. But yeah, I am surprised, I must admit. Force 1 Esports going for a double initiator setup is not something I would have expected.
Absolutely. This is not something we would have expected either. But I believe that Sky is actually pretty nuts on Icebox. I'm not sure how the new nerf is going to work out because obviously now you don't have 3 flashes. You have 2, but they regenerate as well. But
yeah.
Now, obviously, this does look like a single duelist meta for global esports at least, because Kappa is going to be on Sova. That's an absolute no-brainer. There's no questions asked. If you don't have a Sova on Icebox, half the game is lost already. And Sova, I believe, is literally the most important agent on this map. And you could still be okay to an extent without a duelist, but at the same time, you need that Jet. You absolutely need that Jet to capitalize on just the fact that you can create some space. But I believe Ketan is not going to be with us because I thanked him and I just asked him to lounge out and have fun with the game. And Crips, I want to come to you now and ask, what do you think is going to happen after the draft?
We have such a different vibe for both the teams, like Force 1 Esports, double initiator. Meanwhile, Global Esports, double sentinel. That is like a very different philosophy that both these teams have. They're polar opposites of each other. So what's gonna happen over here? I believe Global Esports will try to not play too aggressively, but when they get the chance, they will want to push after they have already secured a couple of spaces. And since they're starting on the defensive side, I guess a double sentinel setup does make some sense. Force 1, on the other hand, they will need to not only gather a lot of information, but to somehow cut off the rotations of Global Esports and try to bamboozle them. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We are live with the first game, Global Esports on defense, Force 1 on attack. And right off the bat, we can see Force 1 splitting up most of their players. 2 players on A, some on B. Meanwhile, Viper himself is all the way up on the attacking spawn, up on the high ground.
Yeah, we do have Rafa being pretty aggressive, and armor and the classic meta is finally picking up because usually we see ghosts around, but now with the new economy, it is going to be a bit of a problem buying your abilities because they've been made more expensive. But nonetheless, Lightning Fast playing pretty aggressive. He's going to get revealed over there behind yellow, and this is going to be a problem. He needs to survive. He needs to stay alive to be able to buy some time for his team to rotate in. That is exactly what he does. He doesn't take those unnecessary fights and take down the owl drone. The question is, do the attackers commit to it? Or is it going to be rotation coming? It is the rotation coming up, but the read is already coming in on the side of Global Esports because they know no information is being given out towards B bomb side. And now we have Hellranger just using the snake bite and making sure that he can buy time for the rotation as well.
Yeah, and most of the players of both the teams have arrived over here. It is going to be a full-blown brawl. The barrier up goes up just in the nick of time, but there's a little gap that SK Rossi exploits. Rafa has been taken down. Skills on the high ground will get the better of Shivi. The shock darts will make sure that they can't plant just yet. And this buys so much more time for the players of Global Esports to get up on high ground. One on the zipline tower, one on the corner box over there. And then there's just RVK who can basically do nothing. Sheriffs in the first round? Mama, what do you feel about this? Because we've spoken about how the Ghost has become a little more, unaffordable because of expensive utility. But then he picks up the Sheriff with no abilities whatsoever. No cloud bursts, no updraft. That's a bit weird, wouldn't you say?
Hey man, it's Rossi. If he picks up a pea shooter, I'm not quite sure if that would make sense in my head. But as long as he gets those kills, it all works out, right? At the end of the day, you just need to put on the numbers under your kill banner, and as long as you get to do that, why not? So if he's feeling confident, I guess Rossi is somebody who has a lot more leeway, but gets two. Can he find the third as well? He's going to try and find the third. Will get taken down. And Lightning Fast, being the cleanup crew that he is, right behind him, is going to use the wall to try and block one entrance. And that's actually quite smart. Forcing them to peek from the right. Gets one. Needs to find the last as well, which is probably going to happen. But the spike is down right in front of him. Doesn't need to force the issue, but RVK is actually pretty scary. With the Sheriff, will get backstabbed by Hellranger. And look at Rossi, just styling. He's not even looking at the screen. He's like, yeah, I don't need to look. I don't need to look.
Yeah, he's chilling on his phone. Playing some Flappy Bird maybe. But hey, those were some really sick one-taps with the Sheriff. I think he intended to dash away, but ended up dashing towards them. Either way, that's alright, because it's not like he bought anything expensive. His team still has him online. Plenty of money to go with him along with it as well. He should be able to pick up an op right this round itself, but I guess, yeah, there you go. There's the op. But his teammates having Spectre, yeah, not enough firepower to go along with it.
This is interesting, to say the least. But that recon dart is not going to be the best. Look at him. He has information. He knows exactly where the Sova is. But will miss the shot. Needs to fall back. But is he going to fall back? Because we know Rossi can be really, really cocky if he's feeling it. And today, it definitely looks like he is feeling it. So he's going to peek around the corner, trying to find the first opening. But that is not going to happen. Still waiting. And RVK has found himself stuck between a rock and a hard place because he can't peek around. He needs help. He needs backup. But Kappa, in the meantime, is going to try and get some information towards mid. And look at that wall. So aggressive towards B mains.
SK Rossi really thought somebody might peek on the back of that Tiger. And that is true. That is true. Rafa, Shivi, both of them now trying to creep up the A corridors. The shock darts will not connect, but hey, SK Rossi's here. No! Rafa's already on the other side. SK Rossi cannot escape. And there you go. Most One Esports have the A site. They left most of it open, hoping that they would be able to protect mid or something instead. And they left it on the back of Rossi. But now that he's been taken down, this is so interesting. Skills, Kappa do get one kill each. But oh my goodness, Global Esports, they do not care how many people are on the other side. They will force the issue. They try to fight them all. And it's the better guns that win. And they might just walk away with the op too.
They might. It was quite early.
They did not.
But,
they didn't pick it. Okay.
Hey, look. It's too early. I'm not quite sure if they would be that comfortable picking the operator up, and I guess that's fair. That's fine. That the fact that they just let it go. But Rossi is going to be in a pinch. He only needs one ult orb to try and get his knives going. So I guess that's going to happen towards A. But yet again, here's a question. I understand you might have a really good aim. You're feeling it as well. You try to make a play, it did not work out. But most of the players would actually play a little more passive, a little more conservative after that happens. But I don't think that is going to be the case with Rossi. But look at the aggression from RVK as well, because he pushed up and a lot of information has been relayed towards the B bomb side. Hellranger is going to be playing really close. And Scar God with his wiper wall. Look at that. He's just floating around and trying to have some fun. But nonetheless, we are just going to wait it out and see what actually goes down, what transpires. But Hellranger has been caught off guard with the Heat Seekers coming in. And do we have the one? We have the one. We do. The Taunt is going to come in as well. And it is going to be a 5-5 retake.
5-5 retake, very messy. Lightning Fast already on the back lines. He gets two. And he reveals most of the players over there as well. So that is amazing. Now, Rafa will be forced to take a look at the back lines while the rest of Global Esports are trying to attack from the front. Shivi does get the better of Rossi. The star player taken down, but the pressure is still on. Skills with a triple of his own. Brings it back, and Global Esports will take the lead once again. There was just a minor setback when they lost in the previous round. But hey, look at all of this now. Global Esports have 2 of their ultimates online. They've got the Viper's Spit, they've got the Lockdown. They can use it at one of the sides to just basically discourage Post One Esports from coming there at all. And in case Global Esports, they use the Viper Spit on, let's say, A or B this time, because that's where Hellranger himself is. If they use it over there, and in case Post One go to the A side, they can always use the Lockdown. So having these ultimates online, which grant them a lot of map control, is just so crucial.
It is really crucial, and we do see the kind of shaky buy there is, but I believe that they don't also at the same time don't want to invest too much, but then they lost out on a round, which is going to be a bit of a problem. But let's see what F1 does. We have a lot of Sheriff coming in and just slowly creeping up. Are they going to try and go in for a contact play? Because this might actually work out and catch somebody off guard. Harper has been spotted. Paint shells are going to go in, but the problem is that it's not going to be enough. It is not going to be enough to slow F1 down, and they're just going to go for it. And this is great. This is great. Initiative coming in. Nitro are finding a quick trade while Skills got the first kill, but here's the problem. We have the rotation, which has already come in, and Global Esports are not going to let this slide. Even though I like the intent, I like the idea, the execution was fairly good enough, but just wasn't up to the point.
Yeah, they were hoping that the utilities that Post One Esports were using would actually force the players of Global back, but no, they decided to push through it nonetheless. Skills on the verge of an ace. Can he get it? He knows Shivi's right around the corner. He should be able to swing wide, but lightning fast. You uncultured teammate steals it away from him. No problem, as long as someone's getting the kills, it's all Gucci.
I'm fairly sure. Sorry, go on.
You were right, Mamba. You pointed it out correctly. Post One Esports tried to go for a little bit of a contact play right at the start, but the moment the jig is up, the moment they realize Global Esports know, they commit their utility, put up the toxin screens and the paint shells and everything, and they're kind of hoping that Global won't challenge them. They won't peek out of that utility, but Global are relentless too, and they're shameless. They will not be afraid of those toxin screens. They will just go ahead and fight outside of it.
That's just confidence. That's just, complete cockiness. And I guess that's fair enough because, hey, when you've been around for as long as Global has been, especially in the Valorant competitive circuit, and at the top, it's not like they have not been at the very top since the game came out. So I believe that having that much confidence is just fair. And Kappa, in the meantime, is not going to fall down, which is quite interesting. But nonetheless, Lightning Fast is going to try and fall back. And Kappa as well, just making sure that he stays alive in case a rush or a push comes in. And Rafa is going to try and go up. But the problem is that there is a wall on the left. He does have a couple of satchels to work with. Lightning Fast in the meantime staying pretty aggressive. But look at that Viper ultimate coming. This is going to be a massive problem. But Lightning Fast being up close and personal. The question is, can he make this happen? Can he sneak up? But we do have a lockdown coming in from the defender. Killjoy, this is going to be a massive problem. Oh my goodness. Nobody had the read on this. Lightning Fast is going to find the first one. Needs to find the second. Is going to slowly fall back. And this is so genius. This is so perfect. But Rafa, in the meantime, is going to find one. Look at that wall as well. But Kappa's going to fall down. And Rafa finding two for himself. Doing what he had to do. And does it so well. And finding the third one as well. And I think his job is done away. It all comes down to skill all alone. But Shivi is going to shut him down. And that is a really good comeback in the round itself from Force One. But hey, that play while Lightning Fast, while he was inside the Viper, that was actually really smart.
And this is what happens in rounds where any of the Viper Spit is committed and all of the things become just so chaotic. You're gonna have to rely on your recon dots to gather a little bit of vision inside that Viper Spit. And if you don't have that, you can always fire those, Hunter's Fury beams and hopefully tag someone. This time, it was actually... I believe it was RVK who used his Hunter's Fury, and it's rare to see this guy play the Sova because RVK just happens to be a Cypher main, so him playing a different role is really weird to see. But hey, this guy was able to destroy that lockdown and buy some more space for his team, so that was important. And now that Force One Esports have shown intention of coming towards the B side, it's Hellranger who puts up a Viper Spit of his own. There's even a one-way Poison Cloud, but Rafa brings out the big guns and he's gonna kill Hellranger with it. The Viper Spit instantly demolished.
Absolutely, but look at that. Rossi finding the initial pick on his Skargard and being on point and making sure that Sage has some backup to work with. But Lightning Fast is going to fall down, and this is going to be a problem for Global because Skargard is going to get resurrected. We have Kappa all alone, along with Rossi giving him some sort of backup. But is that going to be enough? That is going to be the question. Kappa needs to stay alive, especially after this man disadvantage that they're in, 2v4 situation is not easy to come back from, but we already have a rotation coming. But Carp actually has a read on this. Can he find the pick though? Gets the first one, needs to nail the second as well. Has seen the spike cross, is waiting for the third player to rotate in. But is he going to have the patience? Is Skargod going to get caught off guard? But look at that, Scar is going to find the opening towards mid. Yet again, Rossi all alone in a 1v3, only has a Marshall to work with, and I'm sure he's going to go in. He's not going to shy away from this. And if he manages to pull it off, it is going to be one hell of a clutch, but he needs to bring it back right now in an ever so desperate manner. But Skargod is going to get taken down, picks up the one, and now he's back in the game. He's back in the game, baby.
Yeah, he is, and Rafa's already on very less HP. He should be able to make this work, but nah. Rossi got caught off guard by Knight Rider up on that wall. Didn't expect to peek him. So that was actually a pretty cool round by Force One Esports too. You see, in the first few rounds when Force One Esports went for a fake, Global Esports was able to read it, and they read it pretty well. They were able to get those preemptive rotations working, and even if Global Esports was late on the rotations, they were able to actually just delay Force One Esports long enough so that they could have the players come in and then move ahead as a single unit. This time though, Force One Esports, even though the fake was not as creative as the previous round, they were able to catch people of Global Esports off guard on mid. I hope Knight Rider checks this angle. I hope he does. No, he won't. And Hellranger picks up a nice cheeky kill. A Poison Cloud so that he can retrieve the Vandal as well. But no, Skargod still finds him through the green. That's annoying. Hellranger's got to be so mad at that. But hey, that's all right. That was supposed to be an eco round anyway. In fact, he's just lucky that he got that kill. Kappa just looking to do some economic damage. Maybe steal a gun or two.
Absolutely. And it's actually quite smart for him to push up like that, but the information's being read. Rafa is going to clean things up, and that's the score equalized. The fourth round coming in, the scoreline reading 4-4. And again, I believe that you need to get a couple of rounds going your way, at least on the defense, and just get that initial momentum rolling. But at least for now, Rossi has been a little quiet. Even with the operator, he's not been able to shine because we saw the op coming out in the third round, if I'm not mistaken, and actually got taken down fairly early in the round. So that was unfortunate. But let's see what happens. But over here, I really want to talk about Rafa, right? He stepped up, especially when the team needed it the most. We saw the Viper ultimate coming in from Hellranger. He pulled out the biggest gun there is, pulls out a literal bazooka, obviously the showstopper that I'm talking about, and gets a kill onto Hellranger, which allowed them to walk into a speed bomb site, which was very important. But there's one thing I've not been able to figure it out quite yet, is the aggression, the sheer aggression from Global Esports. They have lost out on a couple of rounds, but they're not scared at all.
Yeah, and they might just see SK Rossi in the back lines playing with the operator, and that's something that they would expect, but they would never expect Kappa to be this up close and personal. He sees multiple people, the spike has been dropped as well. Yeah, sure, he will only get one, but hey, the jig is up. They know where the spike is, and Skills can hear all of them hurtling down the corridor of Tube. Oh, they put up this wall as well, but no, they will get the spike again. Skills turns around, doesn't get punished. Now it's his own wall, which is causing problems for him. Oh, that was unfortunate. And Global Esports now turning up the aggression. But this is where the game gets really, really interesting. Now Global Esports are done with their passive setup. They might have 2 Sentinels, but they will now start initiating. They will start playing very aggressively, pushing into the faces of their enemies.
And you can see this. I'm not sure if it's just the sheer amount of pressure and the heat, because we saw Kappa wipe his hands. And trust me, it can get really, really sweaty because, look, both these teams are great in their own right. Global, obviously. Ooh, that is unfortunate. Unless it was on purpose.
What a smart wall. They would never expect SK Rossi to be over here. I mean, sure, you can get up on Tube, and that's not really the most creative position, but this wall gives SK Rossi a little bit of a platform to play off of. So I'm hoping we can get to see this again. But for now, Force One Esports have already made their way to the entrance of B. As soon as those alarm bots will be destroyed, there should be a clear enough indication that Force One is indeed going towards the B side. But then there's Kappa, who's trying to sell a fake on A. Putting down boom bots, making noise, rattling off shots. He needs to be the best salesman ever. And so far, I think he's doing a good job.
So far, is doing a good job indeed, and we do have RVK clearing everything out. Does spot the turret. I'm not sure if that was the most efficient use of the recon that he had, but nonetheless, we are going to see one of Thanos' Swarm grenades pop out over here, and this is going to be unfortunate because there is one on top, but that's not going to be a lot of use. Skills in the meantime. What? In the gods, he was a Rafa. What were you doing? I'm not sure what just happened over there, but Skills is just going to find the initial pick. And that is so unfortunate, but look at this. Nitrider using his wall to block off the B bomb side. And we have a recon coming in. He needs to fall back. The spike's down as well, but the shock ton, is it going to do any damage? That is going to be the question. We do have Kappa trying to find that pick, but the lockdown coming, the defender lockdown, is this going to be enough? Do they have enough time to push them back? Yes, indeed they do, but look at Chewy being so aggressive. Lightning Fast is going to find what needs to find a quick trade as well. That is going to come in from Night Rider. Nice. Gets reduced to 1v1, and now the diffuse is going to come. He's not even going to hunt the player. He doesn't care. He absolutely does not care. Does he have enough time? He might. He doesn't. Oh my goodness, that is so unfortunate. That is really unfortunate. But hey, I'm going to give full marks for the effort and for how smart the play actually was.
Ooh, this is such a big loss for them. Skills, Lightning Fast, Appa. All three of them used their ultimates. 3 ultimates committed in this round, but still Global Esports can't get the win. To even detain the last player, only to have him just get blown up by the spike later on, it was just not enough. Oh, that is so unfortunate. That's gonna be a kick in the gut when there's only 2 rounds left. There's no chance to get your ultimates back online either.
There they are.
Absolutely. And for now, we're going to see what actually goes down because the scoreline is still fairly close, but Rossi just slapping Scargod with that knife. And I'm sure Scar is going to feel that. It's scary. Trust me, it's scary. But him just, being destroyed like that is not, it's not going to be fun to be at least on the receiving end. But Rossi just falls back after taking a bullet to his body. And in the meantime, is going to be breaking that wall down. Try and get some movement going towards the A bomb site, but Plague coming in, or is this fake being so? Because we have no presence towards B from the attackers, so they have to commit towards A.
Yeah, but Force One Esports is now kind of scared that Global will start pushing. Eskerossi coming all the way up in mid, then Kappa pushing A last time. All of this is going to make them a little bit scared. So that's why even Force One are taking their sweet time. Especially when they've already seen Eskerossi on mid. They're kind of hoping that he wouldn't come back online again over there. So now they're going to just commit all their eggs in one basket, put it on A. But the toxin screen is just going to discourage them. There's only 20 seconds left, Mamba. Global Esports are doing everything they can, putting up all the utility they can so that they can delay the spike plant. But it might just not happen. 10 seconds, they still haven't even gotten there. But Rafa, he got deleted by Eskerossi. The bazooka has been taken off. And now it's just a 3v2. At least they got the spike down, so that's one of the problems solved. But this 1v3 is such a massive order for Knight Rider. There's no way he would have been able to pull this off. Global Esports just making things work. They realize their win condition. They realize Force One are going to get desperate. They're going to start pulling out the big guns. And then Eskerossi, he just has the knives that take down the bazooka. That could have been a game changer over there if Rafa was able to pop that off. But nope. Eskerossi being the hero for his team once again. Getting 3 kills this time. And Global Esports does such a good job of holding Force One Esports back.
True. But I think we really need to talk about skills as well. The way he's been playing 15 kills, 6 deaths, and 6 assists. With the killjoy in the first round and first half, within 11 rounds. Those are good numbers. Those are some real good numbers. And I believe that he deserves some credit as well. But look at Rossi. Just getting on top. And is that going to be enough? Being super aggressive. A trademark of players with mechanical skills on the level of Rossi. So we do see a lot of confidence in most of these players. But nonetheless, Kappa has found some information. He's actually going to relay that there are 3 players towards the A-bomb side. Unless he's only seen 2. But nonetheless, that is going to be enough for a rotation to be caught in. But look at this. We have the Viper ultimate coming up at Hellranger. Is it going to play outside? This is going to be a question. But Rafa is actually creeping up. Then this could be huge. This could be absolutely huge. Look at him. Just look at him going. Now we have a rotation coming to Hellranger. Is going to get taken out. Can he find a second as well? That is going to be the question. He does get a frag on those skills, but will quickly get traded out by Kappa. But the damage has been done, and the dislocation has come in as well. This is going to be a problem because this is exactly what works perfectly when you have a flank, manipulation of rotations, kills one on the A bomb side and gets a rotation going, kills one towards mid as well. And that worked out so beautifully for the attackers. Now it all comes down to the Sage and Kappa on defense.
30
Lightning Fast and
seconds
Kappa,
left.
can they bring it back? It's not going to be easy. But we still have Lightning Fast. Just wait it out towards the bomb side. Just, oh!
Jeez, that was disgusting. I was scared that Lightning Fast and Kappa playing far away from each other will result in the death of one of them. At least there was basically no trading potential. But I didn't expect him to get slapped like that. And now Kappa,
I've got your
inside this Viper's pit is gonna be doom for him. His position's been revealed too. I think all of them will start fighting him right now. Maybe the recon dot will reveal someone and he can shoot them down through the outside of the pit, but nah. It's just not happening. There's Molotovs over there as well. He's trying to get high ground, hoping he can catch someone over here, but nope. Jumps straight into the crosshairs of Shivi instead. And it's a 6-6. A pretty even Stevens game so far.
switching sides.
True, indeed, a pretty even Sequin game, and I'm actually quite surprised at the scoreline. 6-6. I did not expect that. I expected Global to have some sort of a lead. But hey, the first 3 rounds of the second half are going to be pivotal in terms of understanding what is going to go down. Because if Global can't pick it up cleanly, we are probably in for one hell of a matchup in the first map itself, which happens to be Global's pick. We've seen Global take down some really, really good teams on Icebox. And Force 1 is just showing incredible restraint and a lot of resistance to Global Esports pushes and the entire manipulation of rotations as well.
Yeah, that's true. Force One Esports have been so good at manipulating Global Esports rotations. The only time Force One actually struggled was when Global started playing aggressively. But this time, we speak about aggression and Global Esports is turning it up. No fakes, no sellouts. It's just a straight up commitment towards the beast side. They're gonna brute force this one. And they don't care about pushing through the toxin screens as well. They've got the barrier ops, they got the plant in. Barely 10-20 seconds into the round, we have a 5v5 retake situation on our hands, Mamba. There's 3 people from Force 1 coming in from the back lines. The flashes won't do much, but hey, now they're getting pinched from both the sides, and it's gonna be up to Skills and Eskerossi to hold off the backstab. Meanwhile, Lightning Fast tries to defend the front line. And so far, Eskerossi is doing a phenomenal job. 2 huge kills, just tapping away with the ghosts, and there's his third. Meanwhile, Lightning Fast and Kappa did a pretty good job of defending the front. Kills comes in as well. All of this, Global Esports, they just don't hold back. They want to put the pedal to the metal and they want to finish this game right here and now. They're done with the mind games. They're done with beating around the bush and they want to go for the prize.
True, and this is where Jet really shines out as well, because with the Jet, you can create so much space. You can be so aggressive and play in their literal faces as well. And we saw a nice recap coming from Ross, even though he was just guarding the flank towards the end of the first round. But it was just great to see the intent coming in. And even though he's not been able to get so many frags in the second half, he's just feeling it. He's just feeling just as confident. But Kappa and Hellranger in the meantime, while they might not have the big numbers, they are still really, really important. They're very pivotal in the entire lineup because they bring in that balance. While Rossi brings in the firepower, Lightning Fast and skills to a certain degree as well. But Hellranger and Kappa being the old guards, being the old dogs, they are the ones who bring in a lot of balance to the team and make sure that if, in case, something does go wrong, they are there to make things right.
Gonna be taking a little bit of a pause because probably one of the players disconnected or something. Internet issues still persist in 2021, but hey, this will just give them a little bit more time to discuss what's been going on. And now maybe Force One Esports are starting to realize that Global Esports, their playbook might be deeper than theirs, but sometimes they're just not afraid of going back to the good old basics. That's what Global Esports is best at. Force One did do a pretty good job of, bamboozling Global in the first half, and sometimes Global Esports did actually get bamboozled. They were able to sell the fakes properly, but not always. Whenever Global decided to play aggressively, whenever they decided to have someone push out mid, let's say Eskerossi, or let have Kappa take control of A. In those particular rounds, Force One Esports, they struggled quite a bit because Global was taking matters into their own hands. And I believe if Global continues that same trend, if they just take matters into their own hands and start playing more aggressively, Force One Esports will start to feel the pressure. And they've always been this kind of team, haven't they? Force One Esports, no matter what map it is, whether it's split, whether it's Icebox, whether it's their opponent's home turf or whether it's their own, they're the kind of team that does well when they have a lot of freedom to work with, when they have a lot of map control to work with. And the moment Global Esports start taking that away from them, then F1 Esports will start to feel the pressure. And I hope F1 can do well to retain their freedom, to retain the amount of map control that they were able to get in the first half and somehow continue all of those trends. That will just keep them a little bit safer from Global Esports momentarily.
True indeed. And talking about the entire lineup, right? Rafa, Nitrider, Scar, Gordon, Shiwi, and RVK. All of these players, they've proven themselves time and time again. Nitrider has a fair deal of experience under him. RVK has played with some of the best minds. Now playing in different teams, obviously, if I'm not mistaken, he has played with Marzel as well, who is a part of Team VLT now.
Yeah.
And no, they do have experience, just that not to the extent of Global. And that's one thing that we've been raving about. While that is important, at the end of the game, at the end of the day, it is an FPS game. You need to click heads. You can have the best strategy, you can have, a lot of confidence, the best restraint, and not get nervous. But if you can't click heads, what's the point? So for now, I guess Night Rider, Scar, Shivi, and RVK, all of them will just try and find their groove, find their rhythm. Because while they do understand the game really, really well, they might try. They'll have to go in and get those frags.
Yeah, they will have to go in and get the frags. But then you spoke about groove, and that's something I want to touch upon. I think basically all of Force One is out of their depth right now, because these are not their default characters. Knight Rider is the guy who usually plays Jet. He is a Jet main. Now he's playing a Sage. The exact opposite of Jet. Jet is this movement-based character, and Sage is a character that basically slows you down. The polar opposite. And Jet is kind of essential in a map like Icebox, isn't it? It is her home turf. It is one of the most staple-picked agents in Icebox. And no Jet on the side of Force One, especially not in the hands of Knight Rider, it kind of makes me feel a little awkward. They're not playing in their comfort zones. Same goes with RVK. This guy happens to be a Cypher main. Now, he can play the Sova pretty well. We've seen that he knows all the lineups and he's pretty good with the timing as well. But still, comfort zone. It matters quite a lot in a game like Valorant, especially in a grand finals like this when you are up against literally one of the best. You need to be comfortable. You need to feel at home if you want to play against these tough opponents.
That is true, but here's something that I want to bring up as well. There are a lot of conventions that people think about. Hey, this is what you need. This is something that is really needed, or XYZ. This team doesn't have this specific agent or this class. But here's the thing. Sure, Knight Rider is a Jet main, no doubt. And I do agree that a Jet could have made more sense, because we never know what is going on in the heads of the teams which are going in for these picks or for this agent selection. But here's something that I would, counter your argument with. Sage, especially on attack, after you've used up your wall, you're practically a duelist. So we have seen a battle Sage come in, and maybe that was the idea. But my question is, was Raze a more appropriate pick over Jet? We don't know. But hey, they're not being stomped right now. They're doing fine. They're just one round behind. And I believe that we can a lot of times get a little carried away, because obviously while Global is a really good team, but I would never count out Force One Esports, because these players are damn good as well. And I want to see some competition. Obviously, we're going to see some picks as well. But obviously, the composition could have been a little different, no doubt. But is that going to be a problem? That is something we'll only find out at the end of the game.
Yeah, so far they are doing pretty well, so I don't think it's going to be that big of a problem. That recon dart will be a little. It won't reveal anyone, but it still gets destroyed. I don't even know how they have an angle on it over there. Either way, RVK now taking a book out of... my god, why did I say that? Taking a page out of Kappa's book. He's trying to push mid, but... God. Poor guy. Got revealed. Had no choice but to peek. Now RVK is still holding this angle. He's just hoping somebody from Global Esports will walk around the corner, not checking this angle, but this is not happening. Global Esports are hitting the B side instead, and Skirossi is the one leading the charge, as usual.
One enemy remaining.
Yep, and it all comes down to this guy all alone in a 1v4.
Whoa!
Everyone, you see their faces. You can see all their faces. They're all surprised, but it's good to see smiles for a change in the Force One camp, because they've been visibly shaken since the first round. And I can imagine it's a lot of pressure to deal with, but I believe that they're more than capable of dealing with the pressure over here. And yeah, it's just great to see such a good contest coming from both these teams. And Skills again has been playing out of his absolute mind. Like, come on, 16 kills with a Killjoy. I'm not saying that it's not possible. It's just good to see that it's not always Rossi who's stepping up, because while Rossi is the talk of the town in most of the tournaments that happen, we have quite literally, right? Even as casters, it's really difficult to look away from a player of that caliber. But sometimes we need to remember that it's a 5-man game.
Yep. And I am just so happy that everyone on Global Esports is stepping up and not just Rossi, because they deserve the attention. They are the kind of team that does a lot of work, a lot of heavy lifting, and all the members do it equally. But this time, as I speak about SK Rossi, he delivers yet again, gets the opening pick. Rafa being in this cheeky corner can get a kill or two. Gets Hellranger though, so that was a crucial pick. Now they won't have anyone to block the lines of sight, but RBK, he's gonna catch SK Rossi off guard. He went a little too deep into enemy territory over there. But SK Rossi just turned into the best salesman. He committed his own life to make sure that F1 Esports stay on the B side, but maybe they aren't selling this fake that well. Shivi has heard the footsteps. He's going to relay the information to his team. The rotation is on its way, and oh, he catches lightning fast off guard, and he himself gets caught off guard. Oh, the taste of your own medicine. Bitter and not at all tasty. It's just a 1v2 now. Down to Kappa. Spike dropped in an awkward location, and he's going to go for it. He was able to bait both of them. No way. Oh.
I'm not gonna lie, the moment Kappa knew the owl drone is coming in, and the moment he started shooting the Sage, I could see things in slow motion because I knew exactly where they was going. And you can't have awareness like this unless you know the game in and out, and that's Kappa for you. You know,
Exactly.
I still remember when he transitioned from the other FPS title to Valorant. There were a lot of questions. There were a lot of questions about his age, if he's going to be able to keep up with his mechanics. And he's not bad mechanically. It's just that there are always going to be younger players. But in the meantime, Lightning Fast finds two for himself on the other side of the map, which is quite surprising. But again, getting back to the point I was trying to make, Kappa, while he's been around for donkey's years, but you can't buy something like this. You just can't buy that experience and that presence of mind.
Taken out.
Exactly. And to have the presence of mind, it's a good shot by RBK, but yeah, that presence of mind, it just doesn't come to you. Like, under normal circumstances, a normal player would have picked up the spike, tried to go for the plant, or tried to run away. But no, Kappa, in a 1v2 situation, he still pushes them. Being at a disadvantage. Him pushing them was the last thing they would have expected.
Absolutely, and he's a juggernaut. He's an absolute juggernaut. But let's focus on F1 for a bit, because this, for me, is a very interesting lineup. I don't know, but from how much I've been able to talk to these players, the personalities are actually quite different when it comes down, because Scar is a player who's, I believe is quite emotional, and I could be wrong about that, but that's my understanding of his persona. And sometimes it shows in the game. But at the same time, not just him, the entire lineup, because we could see how visibly stressed they were. But the fact that they have still been doing okay, but the problem now is that they've lost out on a player already and are down to a man deficit, and they need to bounce back, and they need to bounce back now in this round itself, because if they allow them to get the 11th round, that's going to be a psychological battle. And RVK, while he tried to be a little cheeky towards you, does get taken down. Hellranger with a really good nerf, but he's getting the call card. That is going to be the question. The flash going in, and now Hellranger knows exactly where these players are coming from. But Knight Rider and his teammate have been spotted, and an A hit is coming in, but is that going to be enough? Rossi playing super aggressive on top is going to be able to find an opening. Is that going to be the Tasmanian Tiger coming? The spike is going to go down, but Rossi is not going to fall back.
Knows where Shivi is. This should be an angle from where he wins the fight. And that Tiger won't really reveal his position. Scar got on the other hand, trying to go for a backstab. Won't be able to get much done, but no! What? He just Ferrari peeks SK Rossi and he gets the frag onto him. That's great. And now from this high ground position, he can actually get a couple of kills. But his primary objective is to protect his teammate. Will he be able to do that? Oh no, not from that laser beam. Maybe he can go ahead on the back of it. Maybe get a couple of kills. But even that won't be allowed. Force One Esports are giving this up and they're just gonna let this one go. It's a save. They're just hoping to take away a couple of guns from Global Esports, and they do that. They take away the gun from Lightning Fast. But hey, I think Global Esports still have enough money. They have more than enough money for everyone.
That they do. And is this going to be a big uphill battle from this point on for F1? Because 6 to 11, this is a psychological battle. Because imagine the scoreline being 10 to 7, you still feel that you're in the game. But 6 to 11, it just feels like you've lost control and you've lost, track of your own way. When Rafa as well, if you looked at his face, I feel like he already knows what's coming his way, but he's not going to stop trying, obviously. And he's not amused. He's definitely not amused.
Someone's been reading some poetry.
What does that have to do with poetry?
I mean, I don't know. Muse.
Oh, I said
Muse is
amused.
My bad. Started thinking about some literature over there, but hey, the only literature that Global Esports are interested in is writing a story that will be remembered for decades to come. That's the only literature they're interested in. RVK gathering information on mid sees absolutely no one now. What do you do with this? What do you do with this? You know that Global Esports are splitting up, but where's the actual hit gonna come? Do you know that? Nope, I don't think so.
That is true. We don't know where the actual hit is going to come in, but look at the wall coming up. And Shibi is going to break it down, which is going to force the defenders to keep an eye out for the wall and not get too comfortable on the side button. That is unfortunate. RVK, in the meantime, is going to be using his ult, which is going to reveal Lightning Fast, who is under heaven. Nitride might just be able to find a frag on him, but no! Alright then. That's quite unfortunate. Nonetheless, Rossi is going to be playing super aggressive once again. He plays the exact same spot and does get an opening this time around. Do we have a backstab coming? That is with the question. Starboard finding one, finding the second as well. Skills is going to fall down. It is going to be a 3v3, and both the Vipers using their ultimates. This is going to be a bit of a problem.
I don't know. One ultimate on top of the other. It's just so messy. It's like, ugh. It's disgusting, but Rafa hitting those disgusting shots, living up to the name. Fight fire with fire, fight chaos with chaos, and toxins with toxins. Global Esports on the verge of winning this round. I don't think he's got enough time to defuse this, and Kappa doesn't mind giving up his life to secure the round.
He's a real asset, isn't he? The way he clutches these rounds and steps up when he needs to. This is not just one round. I think the highlight for the match for me would definitely be the one round that Kappa pulled off on the A-bomb side when there was the So and a Sage remaining, and the presence of mind was just so entertaining to watch. And while we're talking about entertaining players, I think the reason why Rossi yet again is so talked about, it's fairly easy to understand because Miokin is right behind him if you look at the camera, and that stands testimony to the fact that everyone looks forward to seeing Rossi perform because he's just that entertaining to watch.
Yeah, and it's not just him. He might be the entertaining guy, but it's his team who sets him up for success as well. And sometimes if Rossi cannot deliver, the others definitely do. So it's a team game indeed, and Global Esports are such a good team to take an example off of.
Oh, absolutely,
So far,
absolutely.
It seems to be a very passive approach from both these teams so far. None of them really walking out to gather information. And take a look at Global Esports. They're literally chilling in spawn. They haven't even ventured out a little bit towards either of the sites. They know that Force One Esports will get desperate, and they want to see that desperation. They want to see them sweat. But my concern over here is, if Global Esports take too much time, there will be very little resources left, very little time left for them to actually commit to a site, and then it will become so problematic. And you can see the desperation on Shivi's face. He wants some information. He uses his Seekers to get it. But still, absolutely nothing. The Seekers only reveal that Global Esports is chilling at spawn, and now they're going to try and work up mid. That shot that could be devastating. It connects onto multiple people. But now, Barrier Up comes through, and it's one of those mid to B splits that you spoke about earlier, Mamba. They're doing it yet again. This is a standard set piece execution from Global Esports, and F1 Esports should know how to deal with it because they've seen it before, but still they are able to brute force their way through and get the plant with just 10 seconds remaining. But RVK, nice job. making it a 3v3. A very doable situation at this point, and the lockdown will just make things a little more awkward, especially when Force 1 don't have the Hunter's Fury to destroy it, but they have a bazooka, and Rafa is not afraid of using it. He knows there's a player towards yellow, but he's gonna... Oh, they're gonna break the lockdown in the nick of time. This could have been disastrous, but Rafa sacrifices his own life to break that lockdown. Unfortunately, still dies. But it's just down to Shivi. 1v3, and I don't think this is doable. Eskerosi wants to finish this off right here and now, and Global Esports don't lose a single round in the second half.
They don't, and I believe this is the reason why Icebox is so scary to play against Global Esports. They're just that good on the map, and you know, it's just great to see the amount of confidence they have. And looks like I have an issue with my camera, but Crips, again, a wonderful matchup.
Yeah, indeed, a very good matchup. I thought that this would be a more of an even Stevens game when, you know, the score was 6-6, but then, my goodness, Global Esports don't give up anything in the second half. They just keep on pushing and pushing and pushing. Woo! What a game. Ketan, what do you think? Were you entertained?
Obviously, because in the first half we all were thinking like that Force One might have that extra, you can say, neck to neck plus one advantage, because we weren't expecting that, you can say, a parallel score line till the first half, and after that it just turned out to be the only team, global esports, the only team to, you can say, ride the whole match.
Yeah, Global Esports definitely did a very, very good job. And they were such a dynamic team on the attacking side. They had something for every round. And we never saw them repeat those strats, did they? I mean, the fact that they waited and waited and waited in the last round just shows how much confidence they have to go for the plant. And they know they'll be successful, even though there's like, what, 20-something seconds remaining in the round. And there's always a risk. When you're executing that late into the round, the tiniest of things that Force 1 Esports do can ruin the entire plan. But Global Esports don't budge.
Oh, absolutely. They don't budge. They don't budge whatsoever. And obviously, I believe, Ketan, it would have been a little disappointing आपके लिए, क्योंकि you were rooting for Force 1. And I believe a lot of us were actually rooting for Force 1. But again, everybody loves an underdog story. But you can't take away from a champion team, can you?
Because like that is what experience brings you in into the match, because हम लोगों ने पहले भी देखा हुआ है कि ऐसी नई teams आती हैं, earlier tournaments में भी मैंने बहुत बार देखा है कि Valorant is such a game जहाँ पे आपको लगता है कि आप एक मोमेंट में टॉप ऑफ द गेम हो, एंड नेक्स्ट मोमेंट आपको सामने वाली टीम बिल्कुल कहीं पे खड़ा रहने का भी नहीं छोड़ती है. सो मेरे ख्याल से ये सब चीजें एक एक्सपीरियंस ही डाल दी जाती है +1 करके. Force 1 will be thinking in the you can say they will be making some notes out of this match, and they will be executing them in the match to देखते हैं किस तरीके से वो लोग come back करते हैं.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to break this game down. But right now, it's time for a really, really short break. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Pro Series Valorant, brought to you by AORUS and AMD. We just saw Global Esports take map number 1 in a pretty convincing fashion. They basically owned the entire second half. Mamba, K18, what do you guys think is going to happen in the next one? Ketan, let's start with you.
I think Force One for sure gonna be comeback because why not? Like let's have a like fair five match series of this fine finale.
Makes sense. That's actually a fair ask. I'm not gonna lie. I like the approach that Ketan has. He just wants to see good competition, and I believe
Yeah.
that that's what we are all here for: a good matchup and an entertaining set of matches. Because while we love the game, it's just really entertaining to see all these players brawl it out. And talking about entertaining players, we've not seen the most entertaining of them all yet. Go out there and show us what he does the best. That is SK Rossi. Giving us brain freezes, giving us brain farts, even as casters, because a lot of times things don't make sense. But we were going to break down what happened in game number 1 before we move on to the next game. No, a really dominating affair Ketan in the second half, especially. First half में लगा था कि नहीं चलिए back and forth match हो रहा है, काफी ज्यादा नजदीक है स्कोर लाइन. Second half में एक round नहीं दिया उन्होंने.
बिल्कुल सेकंड हाफ में मैंने वही सेम चीज नोटिस करी कि लाइक 6 के बाद उनका बढ़ा ही नहीं 6 पॉइंट्स के बाद. And after that, I saw just the domination and the point you were talking about before the game, like Icebox. You have saw Global Esports doing wonders in the past, but अब वही बात है कि वो वाला मैप अब इतना ज्यादा फोर्स वन ने भी नहीं खेला हुआ था लाइक कॉम्पिटिटिव लेवल पे एज यू मेंशन्ड. सो अब सेकंड मैप से आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग कि फोर्स वन दे विल कम बैक बिकॉज उनके स्ट्रेंथ्स पे वो लोग खेलेंगे क्योंकि उन्होंने वो वाला मैप चूज करा है.
Well, absolutely. And
Huh?
Crips, yeah, sorry about that. But I did call out that I was expecting a scoreline around 13-8, and not saying that hey, I'm good at predictions. I'm just saying that it was always looking like a map for global esports, and I believe that the first two games itself, even the second map which is going in, I believe can go towards the way of global esports. But if Force One can push it to 3, 4, and 5, that is where things start getting tricky. And I believe on Haven as well, Global actually has a pretty strong lineup because I still remember this was back in the last year, earlier, very early in the competitive circuit. We saw Global and VLT battle it out, and that was a very close game. And at that point, these were the two of the best teams in the country, even now, but they were literally first and second. And we've seen how good Global Esports can actually be on Haven, and they have a very similar lineup. It's not changed all that much. And I feel that even though Force One would have been feeling confident on this, Global still has the upper hand.
Yeah, and one thing you gotta realize is that first time around, Global Esports faced Force One, in the upper bracket finals. SK Rossi was not playing for Global Esports. They were playing with a substitute called Alex T. Now that SK Rossi himself is back, we definitely can expect some magic. But given what we saw from Force One Esports in the first half, in the first map, they did decently enough on the attacking side, but they just really struggled on defense. So I don't know what's gonna happen once again because Global Esports on defense starting on the defensive side might just mean that Force One Esports get their way in the first half of Haven, but in the second half they will once again struggle if the trend from Icebox continues over here.
Absolutely. लेकिन केतन मैं आपकी भी राय जानना चाहता हूँ because while I believe both of us are very similar, दोनों hopeless romantics है with regards to being optimistic. But आपको क्या लगता है Haven? Because मुझे तो लगता है कि it's still global esports game. I believe Crips is on the same page. But आपको क्या लगता है?
फॉर श्योर ग्लोबल esports का स्ट्रॉन्ग मैप है एंड उसमें लाइक आई डोंट थिंक सो कि और ऊपर से सबसे पहली बात कि मैच वन से आप कॉन्फिडेंस लेके आ रहे हो दैट मेक्स अ +1 फॉर देम इन दिस मैच. एंड मेरे को लगता है कि स्टार्टिंग में अगर फोर्स वन नहीं पकड़ पाए इन इस सिचुएशन में देन फॉर श्योर ग्लोबल esports के प्लेयर्स हम लोगों को पता है कि वो लोग कभी भी लीड को वो खोने नहीं देते हैं. लाइक if someone wants to chase global esports they cannot, like अगर आपने उन्हें पहले ही सामने से आगे जाने दे दिया प्लस अब वो कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाता है. एंड Valorant it's all comes up to you can say the momentum आपका अगर आपके साथ में है तो फिर ग्लोबल esports जैसी टीम आपको छोड़ेगी नहीं और वो भी फिनाले में एंड जहाँ पे इतनी सारी चीजें स्टेक पे है.
जी हाँ, बिल्कुल सही कहा आपने. एंड यहाँ पे अगर second map जाता है Force One की तरफ, then I'm sure a lot of Force One fans, especially, are probably going to call for Keithan to actually come in and cast with us. Maybe a couple of rounds, not the entire match, because I believe Keithan has to actually sit down and watch. But Crips, the trivia, throughout the tournament, we had VP worth 2,750 US dollars. First of all, by the way, if you guys want to participate in the trivia and win a lot of Valorant points, go to proseries.upgrade with aorus.com/trivia.html. The link is down there. This trivia closes at 1:20, so you have 20 minutes to go out there and fill it up. I wish I could, but Crips, we're unfortunately stuck here casting. But hey, we can still get some VP.
We can get some VP. I mean, no, it will be a little bit of cheating, but we can always, open one tab on the side, start filling up the trivia questions, and just pretend that we are not doing anything else other
I
than
think we'd be
focusing on the
fired.
game. Yeah, no, that would be a little unethical. Plus, there's not enough time, ladies and gentlemen. This thing closes at 1:20 p.m. Of course, with every game, there is a new trivia question that pops up, a new, contest that you can participate in, and of course, the chance of winning the Valorant points. I think it's $150 for each game. All of that will keep on refreshing with every game, and this time you have only 20 minutes left. It's 1-1 right now, and you have 19 minutes exactly to go ahead, fill up this particular trivia question, and stand a chance to win Valorant points worth 2,750. Either way, that's the amount of money that you can win. These guys are competing for $5,000. That's the first prize for this tournament. The total prize pool obviously is $9,000, and if you win, you get 5,000. If you don't, you get 2,500. So obviously the team wants the bigger share. They want the bigger chunk of money. And honestly, sometimes it's not about money. Most of the times, at least for these players who've been competing for donkey's years, it's about bragging rights.
Well, absolutely. It is about bragging rights. And talking about the top four, obviously the champions and the second place are going to be decided today. But we have Samurai on third place with $1,000 and T69, where Binks and company plays. And, a really promising lineup. I still remember when, again, I think it was November, December, where it's funny how I was a part of the lineup, the initial lineup, which was called Paratroops, because I believe that was just a Sunday team. But then I quickly went on to realize the sort of potential that T69 has right now, even with the current lineup, because these guys are really talented. Samurai Esports needs no introduction. A good bunch of players have been around for a while. But I'm actually rooting for T69 as well, because, hey, these players, some of them are new to the competitive circuit, at least in Valorant, and they have the potential. The question is, when are you going to live up to it? Are you going to be able to break into the top three? Because the only teams which have been able to take down T69 consistently are the top five or the big five. You can talk about Global, you can talk about Godel, Samurai. Who else do we have that can take down T69 quite convincingly? Trips?
Maybe VLT.
VLT, yeah.
But
I mean,
hey.
that's not even a question.
Yeah, but guess what? VLT did not even make it into the the broadcast stage of the tournament. They were defeated by Samurai Esports right at the start, and they never made it over here. So that's one big Goliath being taken down right at the start. Samurai Esports then went on to defeat quite a lot of other teams, and unfortunately they lost to Force One Esports in the end, and that's why they had to settle for third place. Now Force One Esports have themselves a guaranteed second place. If they win, they will even get first. But hey, we already have the top four. Now we will find out who are the top two today. And every team wants that bigger chunk of the money. Every team wants to be the champion. So it's going to be Global versus Force One. Global already have a map lead. We're getting into Haven next, which just happens to be the map pick of Force One Esports. But let's be honest, Global Esports are also pretty good at Haven. So this will be an uphill battle for them.
Oh, absolutely. It is going to be an uphill battle, no doubt about that. But talking about Giant Slayer Samurai, right? They took down VLT, no doubt. But let's face it, a lot of things actually went down between, these teams changing lineups as well. And, Marcel being a part of VLT, now MW1 being signed up by VLT. Obviously, lineup changes are coming in. So maybe that played a part, maybe that didn't. Maybe it was the expertise that Excali carried over. You never know. But the fact that Samurai Esports won and took them down is something that nobody can take away from Samurai. And they made it to top three. Sure, they're not going to be the happiest, but I think that's good enough to start off with.
That's good enough, but of course, good enough is never just good enough.
It is not good enough. And Ketan, I have a lot of questions for you. I'm not going to let you off that easy this time around. We're going to keep you around after the draft as well. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a really, really short break. When we come back, we'll be back with live action.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Pro Series Valorant, brought to you by AORUS and AMD. With me, I have Mamba and Ketan. How are you guys doing? We already are done with the first game. What do you think is going to happen in the second one? Let's start with you, Ketan.
Again, Force One will be the team to look out for, but obviously, Global Esport will be doing their job, and they're doing best. Like for the first match, we saw that how they came back. They didn't give any single chance in the second half, and hope that continues from their side. But I want to see some good plays by Force One and not letting themselves for the, you can say, double mindset, and they just have to play freely. Like they've done well in the past, and they can do well now also.
That is true. That is true, Crips. I like the fact that he wants to see a good contest, especially given the fact that first map was a stomping in the second half. And a lot of times things we say doesn't make sense because first game, second half, stomping, whatever. But you get the point. Global Esports played really well and won in quite a dominating manner. Haven is, while it is Force One's pick, I feel that Global Esports might have an upper hand now. And I've been saying this since we saw the veto. The order of the map, I believe, is not uh, perfect or not the best for Force One, but then again, this was Force One's pick, so we might see a curveball or two being thrown in over here, and I wouldn't exactly call it an upset because I feel that Force One is on the same caliber, at least comparatively closer to Global Esports and most of the teams out there. But if upset is the word that we had used, then we might see an upset over here.
First curveball that came in my way was the fact that Split is the map that's been playing last. It's the home turf of Force One Esports, and I was expecting them to pull it out a little sooner. But hey, looks like Haven it is, and if Force One feel confident on it, then why not? And this time we see everyone stick to their comfort picks, except for the fact that Night Terror is once again trying to hover over the stage. I believe he will not pick it up. I think he might go back to the Jet as usual. But on the side of Global Esports, I see a little something, something weird as well. We have Skills playing Omen. Usually, Global Esports pick up the Astra over here, but Skills is picked up. He's picking up an Omen, and he's not even the guy that usually plays the controller. He usually is the Sentinel. Lightning Fast has picked up Cypher, so Skills and Lightning Fast have switched roles this time around.
I think Lightning Fast has played Sentinel more often than not. We have seen him play that role, so I guess that's only fair because Hellranger as a duelist is more of a question for me because I still remember he can play Omen really, really well, especially on Split. I still remember one time, boy, the global lineup is scary to play against. Trust me, the retakes were on point. And even if it goes a distance, I have full faith in global that they will be able to pull out 3 maps out of the 5 that they're playing, and the entire lineup of both the teams is, again, the choice of agent for specific players might be questionable, but I believe they know exactly what they're doing. But Ketan, I want to come to you and मैं आपकी राय जानना चाहता हूँ. ड्राफ्ट देखने के बाद आपको क्या लगता है, कौन या किसका पलड़ा ज्यादा भारी है यहाँ पे, या फिर ड्राफ्ट थोड़ा ज्यादा वन साइडेड है?
मेरे ख्याल से ग्लोबल esports के पास थोड़ा सा एज है, बिकॉज एज वी नो कि हेवन लाइक इट फेवर्स देम, एंड ऊपर से मेरे को ये समझ में नहीं आया कि फोर्स वन ने क्यों उनका स्ट्रेंथ जो था वो पिक करा. ऑब्वियसली उनके दिमाग में भी कुछ चल रहा रहेगा. दैट मिस्ट्री गोना बी सॉल्विंग इन दिस मैच, सो इट विल बी अ ग्रेट कॉन्टेस्ट.
All
Crips?
right, ladies and gentlemen, let's just jump right into the game. हमने एजेंट स्टाफ देख लिए हैं. हेलरेंजर और डुअलिस्ट एक अजीब चीज हो सकती है. हमने उसे यूजुअली कंट्रोलर खेलते हुए देखा है, लेकिन फिर भी बिकॉज ये यहाँ पे थोड़ा स्विच कर रहे हैं, तो आई थिंक ग्लोबल ईस्पोर्ट्स के पास भी कुछ प्लान है. आई ऑब्वियसली थिंक फोर्स वन ईस्पोर्ट्स ने भी हेवन कुछ सोच समझ के भी किया रहेगा. उनको मालूम रहेगा कि ग्लोबल ईस्पोर्ट्स यहाँ पे कैसे खेल के, तो शायद उनको काउंटर करने का तैयारी चालू है यहाँ पे. बट फॉर नाउ फोर्स वन ईस्पोर्ट्स हैव ऑलरेडी पिक्ड ऑफ हेलरेंजर. The captain is down. वो हुआ एक शॉट पे. लाइटनिंग फास्ट को यहाँ पे किल मिला गराज के बाहर, और इस बार फिर से फोर्स वन ईस्पोर्ट्स गराज प्रेशर डालने के बाद ए स्नीक इन करने की कोशिश करेगी, बिकॉज यहाँ पे आरवी के ऑलरेडी ए पे पहुंच चुके हैं. एसके रॉसी ऑलमोस्ट डाइड ओवर देयर, लेकिन वो फिर भी एंगेज करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. एल्सवेयर आरवीके को ए साइड पूरी तरह से कंट्रोल में मिल चुकी है, लेकिन अगर यहाँ पे स्पाइक उन्हें मिल जाता है तो मजा आ जाएगा. बट सो फार फोर्स वन ईस्पोर्ट्स गेटिंग ऑल द किल्स एंड एसके रॉसी ऑन 1 HP. Yikes, that's a little scary.
It is a little scary, but this is where he really shines. All the pressure in the world on him. 1 HP to bring it back. But the question is, how does he approach this? It's not going to be easy. We have the camera going in, getting information towards the A-link, and does Rock... All right, then Rossi does realize it is an A plant, but at the same time, he wanted to make sure that the flank is not coming. He's not even going to reload. 4 bullets, 3 players to kill. 3 headshots is what is needed, but is he going to get taken down? Will he find a kill? That is going to be the question, but he peeks around the corner, does get taken down by RVK, and RVK is an absolute beast with pistols, especially the Sheriff. So it's fairly interesting to see the confidence, but what I'm really concerned about is that Rossi has... I feel like he's not really feeling it. He's not in his best shape. At least he wasn't in the first game. The second game as well, we saw him... I wouldn't even call it a couple of misses. I mean, he was hitting the shots. It's just that it doesn't feel like it is that crisp, clean Rossi that we usually see, who just pops head for fun.
I mean, he set such high standards for himself that anything lesser than that feels like a little bit of a disappointment. He is a great player, no doubt. But it's just that he's been such a great player that now whenever he does even a little bit worse, it feels like a little bit of a disappointment. But this time, he won't be disappointing anyone. He has a Marshall, he's already delivered with it. RVK has been tagged up, so he's gonna be discouraged to, discouraged from coming up mid. But Hellranger already has his number. Should be able to get a couple of shots in, but gets tagged up. Luckily, he's a Phoenix, so he can heal himself. No problem over there. Skills already has a Paranoia at the ready, so in case Escarossi needs help, the Paranoia will come in time, and there you go. He throws it all the way from Garage, and that forces Kappa and Escarossi to go ahead and pick up those kills, and it works like a charm. There was nothing that Force 1 Esports could do. There was no way for them to dodge it as well. And that poor guy, Scargod, he's being trapped inside that dark cover, but it actually gives him a little bit of an edge. That was a little too expensive.
There was no doubt about that. That was a little too expensive, but the fact that Global Esports managed to bounce back in this map, sorry, in this round, is just incredible to watch. But that gravity well was so crucial to just delay the push coming in. But I don't know, the way it went down, it did not really work out for Force 1. And a Phantom in the second round is a bold buy. Did it work out? Well, yeah, again, I'm not quite sure why would you want to spend so much money in the second round itself. But nonetheless, Global Esports is going to pick up the round, and they're going to be fairly happy. In the meantime, while I was just building it up for this round, Hellranger and Rossi finding one for themselves, but Rossi is going to get taken down. Skills coming up close and personal. Is he going to be aggressive? That is going to be the question. But this thing so close. He can be the trade for Hellranger, but Hellranger is going to flash around. He's going to get spotted. I'm not quite sure, but the Paranoia being lined up, and this is going to be a massive problem. Scargod being taken down. It all comes down to the Jet. That is Nitrada in a 1v4. Does have the spike to work, where he's going to try and creep up towards the A bomb side. But does he have enough time? He's going to get spotted. Information's going to get relayed as well, but will get taken down by Kappa. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the second round coming in for Global Esports. And losing rounds on attack on Haven is definitely something that is not going to be easy to digest. But again, it was an eco round, so it's fair. But they need to, and desperately need to, end this off at least 7-5. First one, anything less than 7-5 is going to be a massive problem to deal with in the second half for them.
Skills is just so happy that the Paranoia costs less now. He's been spamming it every now and then. In the last round, he threw it from Garage to let his teammates speak. This time, he threw it himself so that he can go ahead and pick up those kills. SK Rossi, what a brave man. Like, he gets tagged up by the Owl drone, but he still doesn't budge. He still wants to stay over there and fight. The bravery, the cojones on this guy. But this time, Force 1 Esports are pushing towards the B side, and once again, the Paranoia will net Skills a kill. This one-way split could be a little weird, but since Force 1 are already ahead of it, it shouldn't be a problem for them anymore. Shivy, he spots Skills, but that's about it. Most of his teammates have already died. Now, the good thing for him is that he has the spike on his back, so he can go all the way around and plant on C. And Global Esports won't be anywhere close to this thing, so he can also take up a good post-plant position. But after that, will he be able to hold on?
Will he be able to hold on? I'm not sure. But it is going to be a 1v2. It's not going to be easy, no doubt about that. He is going to have a recon dart come in Just 2 seconds. He does have it. He can play the after plants as well. I'm not quite sure what the idea is over here, but he does have 2 shock darts to work with, and this is going to be the time to use his recon dart to get some information going. And if this does get the reveal, this could actually be a massive problem. But nonetheless, Kappa is breaking it down. Shivi needs to stay alive. He can't manage to lose out on this one, but does get the first one. He's found the second as well. He's still alive. He does have 2 shock darts to work. He's going to go around the corner, take down that Ranger. And that is going to be the equalizer coming for Force 1. But what a round. What an absolute round coming in from the attackers. Even though they were, the last player standing wasn't a 1v2, he made it work. He made it work and somehow managed to bring it back. So Shivi, big props to you.
Yeah, and it's not like Global Esports made any mistakes. No, they were playing together. They, in fact, waited for each other at the start of the garage door so that they could peek him at the same time and don't end up giving 1v1s. But Shivi, what a master manipulator. He forces them to fight him single-handedly and then just doesn't let the trades come through. Okay, Force 1 Esports are doing a little bit of a switcheroo this time. They use the Cloudburst to go towards long instead of going short, which is usually what the Cloudburst and the Cyber Cages are used for. And this might just allow them to get up close. And there goes Knight Rider. He was already up close over there. Gets the kill. Hell Ranger won't be able to do much. He does kill the body of Rafa, but then dies himself. SK Rossi now taking matters into his own hand. That's the spike right there. If he can defend this, it will be great. His teammates are on their way to back him up, but I don't think they will be any closer. But he himself is alone enough, and he delivers again and again, just butchering people with those knives. Oh my god, this guy is a menace. Force 1 Esports will be so disappointed. They knew his position deal with the noodle theft, but then that doesn't discourage him from peeking out. And he just decimates everyone who stands in his way. Oh. How do you respond to that? How? You just cannot.
Well, you roll up all the tiers, try and freeze them, and maybe just use them as ice for your next drink, because this is going to pain, and to ease up that pain, you're going to need drinks. But Rossi is a juggernaut, and there's no stopping him. And he showed us exactly why he's such a dangerous player. Gets a quad kill for himself. Knight Rider gets taken down as well. And with the Jet nerf coming in, especially needing 7 ult orbs to get your ultimate, sure, it's going to be a rare occurrence, but he doesn't shy away. He doesn't shy away from using this, and the sheer confidence. The first kill was so clean, even the second as well, which was so pivotal. Does get the second, then goes out, gets the third, and dashes back. This is the sheer presence of mind in the mechanics as well, because that was immediate. That was absolutely immediate. And one thing that I mentioned early on in this game is that Rossi doesn't feel as crisp. I think I'm gonna eat my own words.
Yeah, he's proved everyone wrong. As soon as he heard that reload on Scargard, he pushes out. And the fact that he was able to get that massive flick onto Phoenix, it was just so good.
It was really good to watch. But talking about skills, yeah, Crips, what are you saying?
It's got one of those cheeky angles that you only are able to pull off once in the game, but I'm kind of concerned. F1 Esports already have the C side under their control. Yeah, sure, they don't have enough men. Global Esports don't mind giving up the side and going for the retake. But I am not fully comfortable about Knight Rider's position over here. Maybe Rafa can make things work. Flashes exchange on either side, but Lightning Fast will get the better of him. Ah, he's good for only one. And once again, it's up to Shivi. He pulled off a 1v2 before, and he decimates SK Rossi mid-air. But I don't think he's got enough resources to stop the defuse from happening this time. Nah, it just won't happen. He doesn't even have a weapon. But hey, that was a decent round by Force 1 Esports. They got 2 kills, and Shivi was able to pick up SK Rossi in that amazing fashion. He turned around 180 degrees to get the kill onto him, so that's a style frag for me. And they got the plant down, they got the plant money. That's all that Force 1 Esports came for this time. I think it's a win in my books.
Well, that is a win in my books as well, and as long as you can dish out enough damage, especially when you don't have a lot of guns to work with, I think that's fair enough. But they have a bigger problem to deal with. Global Esports on defense has pulled up 4 rounds already, and I think they're in the green. Global Esports is already in the green, but Rossi with the operator is not going to peek out towards you long. He's playing fairly aggressive, but he's going to peek out late, which is a surprise, no doubt. But let's see what does he have in store for us. But in the meantime, Kappa trying to find some information. Look at that. Camera is just saying hi to each other over there, and apart from waving hi, nothing's gonna happen. Shivi, his outrun is not going to be of use. somebody actually had to go in and break that tripwire, but that's not going to happen, which could be a problem. But we do have the Astra rings being placed. Cargod, in the meantime, just using the smokes to maybe just forcing the rotation. Hellranger is going to peek around the corner, gets all the information in the world, but skills bango on point, breaking the recon. Otherwise, he would have had to fall down because that would have revealed him. And he's in a decent position. Gonna be honest about it. It's fine. It is something he can work with. Maybe get a kill and quickly get traded, unless he manages to use paranoia and perfect unition with his placement. But nonetheless, Rossi is playing the C-bomb side, and he is all alone as far as I know. And that is going to be a problem, because if he can't fall back, he can get traded. But he does have a dash to work with. Goes around the corner, misses the first shot, needs to find the second. Can he get it? That is going to be the question. He doesn't have a lot of time, but this is perfect. Oh my goodness, look at that! How is Rossi still alive? He needs to stay alive. Misses the third one as well. 2 more bullets to work with. But Shiwi with the shock now. Skargod finding one, but Kappa in the meantime is going to shut down Shiwi. Skills finding 2 for himself. It all comes down to the Cypher. RVK all alone in a 1v3. Can he pull it off though? That is not going to happen. Hellranger taking him down, and the clock was ticking. But what is up with Rossi? He's smiling. He's okay, but 3 shots being missed.
Yeah.
That just goes on to show that he's human. He is human.
Yeah, but his teammates, they want to make him a god. They want to make him immortal. As soon as Rossi was in trouble over there, Skills threw in he threw in his own paranoia, and Kills has been so on point with those flashes. Like, every time he throws it through the wall to help his teammates out, and every time it helps someone or the other stay alive. Last time, he helped out Hellranger with that paranoia. This time, he helps out SK Rossi. Even Kappa committed his Hunter's Fury to make sure that Force 1 Esports are just busy dodging those laser beams instead of focusing on SK Rossi. So, that was a very, very good approach by his team. And this time, SK Rossi finally delivers. RVK, though, he's cleared up garage and he's trying to move deep into the site, and this guy is such a good player, hitting those shots every time. But no, the jig is up. He did make a good fake towards garage, but now the spike getting dropped on A is gonna be a little problematic. Now they know what's up, and RVK, all his efforts of selling a fake have gone to waste. Most of Global Esports are already over here. The best that RVK can do right now is join his team and hopefully play together to get some picks. But no, SK Rossi, it's somehow, whenever it comes down to RVK, he misses, but he won't miss the second time. Hellranger and Kappa delivered 2. And this time Global Esports is popping off right from the start.
That he is, but it's just incredible to see the way RVK walked in and he just got 2 picks just like that. But yeah, obviously Rossi cleaning things up, getting the last pick. But hey man, you gotta give credit to RVK. And his Sheriff is something that is talked about actually very often. And a lot of players actually agree that RVK, with pistols especially, is an absolute beast. And he goes on to show that. But here's the problem. It's been 7 rounds. RVK has 5 kills. And in these 7 rounds, all these 5 kills have come in only 2 rounds. 2 of them in the last and 3 in the first.
Yeah, so Canada does paint the picture that Team Force 1 need to step up a little bit. If not step up, they need to at least make sure that SK Rossi can't keep getting away with these murders. Every time he keeps on switching up his position. Sometimes he pushes a shot, sometimes he pushes mid. And it's a problem no matter where he is. Oh, Hellranger, he still wins that duel. Kappa comes into trade as well, and they both double peak. The lineup of Force 1 getting so many kills at the same time. And they want to go for more. He puts down the flash so that he can escape, but even with the information, what do they do? And they can't even escape from this area. SK Rossi is trying to sandwich them from behind. So now, both the players of Force 1 are trapped inside this A lobby. They need to break this site open, or the backstab open. They need to kill something. Nothing is going to come through. It's just a consolation frag for Knight Rider. And the way Global Esports are playing very aggressively right now, it just kind of paints a bad picture in my face. It makes me really, really nervous. The last time Global Esports started to play aggressively in Icebox, that's when the problems for F1 started to pop up. And unfortunately, in Icebox, Global Esports realized that they need aggression a little too late. By that time, F1 Esports already had like 5-6 rounds in the bag. This time, Global Esports start playing aggressively right from the start, so F1 Esports don't even get that little bit of buffer.
True indeed, but look at Rossi just going around the doors, trying to find a pick, but he is going to fall back, which I believe is actually quite a smart choice, because he would have been immediately traded. But I don't even notice this, but in the meantime, Lightning Fast is going to get taken down. So we bang on point with the ultimate. Rossi needs to connect these sitters. He cannot be missing those. He needs to fall back as well, but he's going to stay alive. Gets one more. Needs to find more kills. He doesn't have enough to work with. He's going to miss out on one more. He's going to pull out the knives. That is going to be the question. Rafa going around but not committing to it. This is double guessing yourself. Rafa could have found an easy kill on Rossi, but what is up? I'm not quite sure. But Force One, hey, full credit to them, full marks to them for making this happen, because we saw 2 initial picks, but Rossi needs to step up right now. He cannot be missing those shots. He got 2, not shot. He got the ultimate, but the whiff on C-Long was very unfortunate. And imagine the situation. Global Esports is still playing this dominantly with Rossi not being in his prime or not playing his A game. Just imagine how scary they can be. But this also goes on to show that Hellranger skills, Lightning Fast and Kappa are just so good at getting these rounds, closing them down and making things work. And I was actually mentioning it in the last round itself, because I believe the score was 2-6 or something. And the last round where Hellranger traded out Kappa, he just looked to the right and just smiled. In the meantime, Rossi, every time I say, hey, Rossi is whiffing, he gets superpowers. So I guess for him to frag out, he's probably gonna call me and say, hey mom, I just need you to trash talk me. So maybe a couple of picks here and there.
Well, correlation and not causation, Bamba. I believe SK Rossi was struggling a little bit because they have changed the movement accuracy or the inaccuracy of all the weapons.
True.
Maybe he's not used to the whole counter strafing yet. So that's all right. I mean, he won't miss every time. This time he delivers. He gets 2 kills on mid. And I gotta admit that even in the last round when Force One Esports was trying to hit the C site, SK Rossi did not fall back. He was just confident in his abilities to hit the shots. He did not dash out, right? He saved it. He thought he would be able to get those kills. He did not, but that's a different story. But this time, Hellranger has a deep idea that these guys might be hitting the A side, and it seems like he wants to take matters into his own hands. The run and back doesn't get a lot of kills, but it sure scares them. And now they know exactly where Hellranger was, but Lightning Fast baits his position out, uses him as distraction, and Lightning Fast delivers a style frag onto Shivi with the pistol to end things. What a man. Global Esports are just so good at playing off of each other.
They are, and Crips, you brought up a magnificent point, which I completely missed out on, by the way. Even though I remembered reading the patch notes and I know the new change that has come in with the counter strafing, but that explains everything. That pretty much explains every single reason why Rossi, every time he's tried to peek out, has been missing that shot. And while it takes some time to get used to, this actually goes on to show that the aggressive operating meta, which we saw even in the Indian circuit, be it Rossi or Deathmaker, for example, is not going to be that viable anymore.
I mean, I think they just need a little bit of practice. It's been, what, like 2 days since the patch dropped? So, yeah, they probably just need a little bit of time, maybe a week or 2, and I think they should be back in their prime. Remember back in the old days when the other game, the other FPS title that these guys originate from, when they changed their operator, people like Kenny S thought they were nerfed, personally. Simple took it personally too, but then, hey, they got back into the prime. I mean, there's always workarounds, so I don't think that SK Rossi will be struggling too much once you give him a little bit of time. Plus, you gotta consider the fact that he's been on a break. He was feeling a little bit of burnout. He was sick as well, so he took a little bit of break, and that's why Alex T was playing most of the tournament in his place. And now that he's back, it'll take him a little bit of time to get into the group. Maybe it's the new patch. Maybe it's the fact that he's not been feeling well. So could be a combination of both. But once he gets back online, it should be smooth sailing for Global Esports, and it is smooth sailing already. Like every time F1 Esports try to figure out what Global Esports are doing, they just get surprised. You see, in the last map of Icebox, Global Esports was giving Force One all the map control. They were giving Force One a little bit of room to work with. So that's why they could fake Global Esports out. This time, that's not happening. Global Esports are having Hellranger and SK Rossi play in different positions every time. Sometimes he peeks garage with the op, sometimes he plays B, sometimes he peeks A short. So they can never figure out where SK Rossi is coming from. And more than that, they also change the position on skills. Like sometimes he plays up on that little box on garage, sometimes he's playing up on the B side. This time he's on that little green box on C. So they keep switching things up. Then SK Rossi and Skills are the two kind of players that if you put them together, these guys will wreak havoc. Because Skills has been on point with this paranoia. Every time he saves his teammates from trouble with the flashes. And hey, the paranoia is cheaper now. You can literally start spamming it. It's a cheap price to pay to save a teammate's life.
I think even if it was 400 credits, I would still probably use my paranoia to make sure my teammate stays alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's a fair
here's the
point.
thing. It's a fair point, obviously. But let's talk about F1 for a bit. Honestly, even though the scoreline looks so dominating in the favor of global esports, I actually feel that F1 has shown resistance, no doubt. We've seen some moments of brilliance from all these players, and I believe that they deserve credit as well. The way they've played in this entire tournament, the fact that they made it to the grand finals, and sure they're struggling. And I pointed this out, in the very beginning when we saw the veto, when we saw the maps and the order of the maps especially. I was confused. I was honestly I was puzzled. Why did F1 choose to go with Haven? But all of that aside, I think that the way they've played has shown confidence. While we have seen some visible shakiness and a lot of stress on the face, but I believe that is going to fade away eventually with more experience coming in, and I feel that they have a lot of potential. They definitely have a lot of potential. It's just that
Definitely.
maybe this is not the right time. This might be a little too early, but if they stick around, the next 3 months, next 6 months can actually prove to be really, really good for them because the competition is just rising. You see every
Exactly.
single team which has stepped up. It takes time. It's a process. But I genuinely do believe that all the players in F1 actually have the potential to make it big with regards to being one of the best teams in the country.
Yeah, these guys have been knocking on the doors of Tier 1 Valorant in India, and I soon feel that the doors will be open, the prayers will be answered. And by Tier 1, I consider the big three over here, the big three being Global, Godlike, and Samurai. And Force 1 Esports have been giving each and every one of these teams a good run for their money. So, yeah, give them a little bit more time, and Force 1 Esports definitely will be able to show us some really good stuff. I feel genuine appreciation for RVK because I've seen him since like a year or two now, and he started with Blaze under the leadership of Marzel. Now that Marzel's in a different team, he picked up a team of his own, and guess what? Even with the underdogs, he is shining like a diamond, and I feel like he will only keep on, becoming brighter and brighter. Like these guys, Knight Rider, he used to play for this Delhi-based team called God Particles at the time. He used to be the default topper over there. He was pretty good, and we have seen how he has become so much better. Shivi, Shivi was a Delhi-based player too, right? Or is Shivi from Mumbai? I'm not really sure where these guys are from, but then the way they've come together and the way they've built something amazing, I feel nothing but genuine appreciation for them. Ranger with the op.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird, right?
I'm not sure if that's weird or not, but at this point, whatever it is not looking great. And I like how RVK is just staring at Ross. He's like, hey, what's up, mate? And we have Kappa trying to use the shock dart through the Astral from the Cosmic Divide coming in, and Rafa is just going to be waiting it out with the flashback. Look at the flash going in, and this could be a massive problem. The moment the spike is planted, Hellranger finding one, needs to get the second as well, but Scargod finding a quick trade, but is that going to be quick enough? I'm not sure. That was so smart coming in from Hellranger. He made sure that the diffuse can actually come in. The diffuse. All right, never mind then. Kappa needs to fall back. He's going to fall back, but we do have the dark colors going out and the Soa reveal. Lightning Fast in the meantime is going to get taken down, but do they have enough time? The diffuse has already started coming in, but they're going to leave that. RVK in the meantime finding one on his skills. It is now going to come down to Kappa all alone in a 1v3, but he is going to fall, and the scoreline is going to read 8-4 in the favor of Global Esports, but 8 rounds on defense on Haven. Good lord, that's more than enough. But the one thing I realized is Hellranger's brilliance with that flash peek. First one, sure, he used it, slowed them down a bit. But the second, he did not peek when the plan was coming in. He did not bother denying the plan because he realized the moment the spike gets planted, the players are going to try and fall back. And he got 2 free picks.
Yeah, he understands the momentum that way. He understands the psychology of the players on the other side, when they'll be looking to push, when they'll be aware, when they will be just in a state of retreating. So he uses that to his advantage. He gets 2 kills. It's just that when the cosmic divide is put in a situation in a place like that, and you just have players throwing bodies at each other, it just comes down to trades and nothing else. It just comes down to good old firefights, and Force One Esports have the raw firepower to make it work. This time, Hellranger and SK Rossi are going very aggressively towards the A side, but that's not where the final commitment will be. Oh no! This is the problem. They have the picks on the A side, but the spike is still deep in mid. And these guys might be looking to push through even further. Oh, he just doesn't want to stop. SK Rossi wants to go all the way ahead, but he ends up giving up his life to Knight Rider. Now, things can be a little awkward. The hot hands will stop anyone from hiding inside that corner, but Rafa gets the better of Hellranger as he was trying to retreat. It's now a 1v1. Kappa knows where he is, and luckily for him, Rafa does not have any more utility left, so it's just down to firefights. He needs to burst out. Knows exactly where Rafa is. He's playing ring around the rosies with him. And Rafa's just so confused. Kappa knows exactly where he is. The execution comes through. And they pull off the pistol.
The sheer lack of response or emotion on Kappa's face shows that he's a cold-hearted, cold-blooded murderer when it comes to giving these clutches. And he is going to win you these rounds. And that is the value of Kappa. And I still remember there were a lot of naysayers when Kappa transitioned to Valorant. There were a lot of questions, and it feels like, whenever he gets these clutches or these crucial rounds, and you see his face, it feels like internally he's fighting every single day to make sure that all these haters are shut up. But then again, he doesn't need to prove it to anyone but himself that he can still compete. And goddamn, he can. He really, really can.
Look at how much map control SK Rossi has. Like, he's an attacker going all the way from A to B, and he's just on a world tour right now. Knight Rider had no idea where he came from. Even I have no idea where he came from. Like, these guys are just running rampant. They're all the way in defender spawn. Global Esports, this was not even a strategy. It's like, just press W, go wherever you want to go, kill. What sort
Sometimes
of...
I believe Hellranger before a match walks up to Rossi with a jar full of sugar, puts in his hand, gets a fist, and hands it over to just stuff it in his mouth and give Rossi a sugar rush. Because the way he cleared the B bomb side, it's only I believe a 5-year-old child on sugar rush is the only explanation over there. Because that did not make sense. That made absolutely no sense.
Like, he did not even enter B regularly. He came in from the A side, all the way around the other side of the map.
It was funny, no doubt about that. But this is going to be a good fake. This is the reason why you need to learn all the lineups. And now this is going to be classic. Rossi is going to find one. RVK is going to get taken down. Rossi finding his crew back. Is going to try and go in. But he's going to find one more. That is going to be the question. We do have Hellranger who's going to get taken down. Rafa finding 2 for himself. But one was the running back from Phoenix. Shivy, in the meantime, is going to take down lightning fast. And this is going to be 3-4-2. A man deficit. Global Esports need to make this work. But the question is, how do they approach this? Shivy is still waiting it out. Is he going to peek around the corner? Is he going to take the fight to them instead of allowing them to take the fight to him? And Skills is going to be waiting out. They might just get caught off guard, but I think this is a mistake coming in from Shivy. Knight Rider with a quick trade and now reducing it to a 2v3. Still a mad advantage in the favor of Force One Esports, and now we have a rotation coming in. But look at that though. Look at Rafa being so up close and personal, playing so, oh my goodness, you can't miss those sinners, Rafa. You cannot miss those sinners, and I'm sure there are going to be a lot of laughs and a lot of giggles coming in from Global Esports. But Kappa barely surviving over there, barely clinging on to his life, and Hellranger is cutting off the rotation already. And this is the awareness. Look at that. Scargod in the meantime could actually make it to C long, but Kappa is holding that with the off, and he is going to find that pick.
1v2. Knight Rider needs to have the performance of his life, or nah, Hellranger will just say goodnight. Hellranger, what a man. The guy tried to go for a double fake, and it ended up working out. Like, the original plan, I believe, was to fake C, head towards A, but then he realized that the rotation from Force One is already over here. So they might as well just go back towards the C side where they already have a little bit of presence. Yeah, sure, the whole Kappa versus Rafa episode could have been a little funny, and the whole round would have been very, very different if the spike was dropped over there. But the presence of mind on Hellranger is just something you always gotta appreciate. You always gotta make sure that this man doesn't get what he wants.
No way.
If he does, it's gonna be a problem for you. This time he gets a pick as well, so that's just a cherry on top of the cake. And SK Rossi's delivering as well. Oh my goodness, this looks like a massacre. Rafa won't miss this time.
Spike down mid. Last player
I have no words. I am done. What even was that?
That's aim practice. That's Kovacs or aim labs right there. So there are tracking scenarios, and I guess Rafa was just helping out with that. But hey, jokes apart, it was an unfortunate situation to be in, but he got 2 kills. Getting 2 kills over there is more than enough, more than anything or anyone could ask for. But Rossi gets the first, nailed the second, and then just casually walked inside the B bomb side and then fell back. I don't have so much confidence with a Phantom to go in, and Rossi just casually walks in with the operator. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit because he's feeling it.
He's using it like it's a shotgun. Which is a very expensive close-range weapon. But this off angle could be very interesting. I don't think Skargod will check. He seems to be aware, and the presence of mind is amazing on this guy. Kappa, though, just needs to fall back. Ah! Good stuff.
Kappa is going to find the last pick, and yeah,
Match
it's pretty
point.
interesting to see the entire way, the way the match is going on. But Hellranger with a smile is not something you get to see very often, unless obviously he's won a tournament and he's just being a little cheeky. Because I love his cheeky humor. But yeah, Rafa was unlucky with the third one, but I think he did his job well.
His only job was to go in and cause a little bit of disruption over there. Stop Global Esports from having it their way. Just try to slow things down, because this was an eco anyway, right? They were hoping they will get some information from this thing and maybe they can use it in the next round. But this time, I don't think there will be a next round. The pace at which SK Rossi is going through, it just seems so good. But then Rafa and Skargod, they take the fight to Global Esports. They fight fire with fire. They're pushing all the way down in the attacking spawn. F1 Esports are not giving up. This is the level of aggression I wanted from F1 Esports. They need that confidence, and they're like, you know what? We are done taking shit from Global Esports. Now it's time to hit back.
Well, Rafa with a smile as well. What's happening? It's a first. It's a first for everyone today. And hey, man, look. Even though the scoreline is reading 12-5, it's making for an entertaining match, and it smiles all around. And that is what I want to see. Sure, there will be good times. There will be bad times. There will be times when you win. There will be times when you lose. But you need to enjoy the process as well. A lot of times it feels like, hey, man, why are we not able to close it down? But sometimes it just doesn't work out your way. And हिंदी में एक चीज कहते हैं देर आए दुरुस्त आए, but यहाँ पे 7 rounds एक के बाद एक इनको जीतने पड़ेंगे. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to pull that off.
Yeah, this is the tall order, right? I don't think they've got the manpower to serve this. Oh my god. Speaking of manpower, they get the advantage already. Global Esports want to shut this down right here and now, but Knight Rider maybe can bring it back. Where even is Knight Rider? He wants to make sure nobody can come in from this area. He picks up the Vandal just so that he can play inside the dark cover. But yeah, Global Esports are going for a little switcheroo. It's going to be up to RVK to secure this area, and he seems to be aware about what Lightning Fast will do, but Lightning Fast staying true to his name. He's going to be a little too fast for RVK. Oh, no, no! How did Knight Rider survive that?
That's a multiple. That's a lot of factors working on at the same time, because Hellranger saw the dash. He expected him to go across, but the fact that he got stopped by the box on the side actually threw Hellranger off even more, and that worked out in the favor of Knight Rider, because he could, stop quicker. He could take that fight as well. But nonetheless, it is going to come down to Kappa all alone once again in a 1v2. The spike is down, and look at him. Just big brain plays coming all around. He does have an ult to work with, does have a reveal, but he's not going to use his ult. He's just going to try and creep up, and this is massive. This is incredible to see, and is he going to be able to pull it off? He is going to try and go, and the defuse is coming, but look at that reveal coming up, and Rafa is probably going to get taken down. He's going to get revealed. He's going to go down, and it all comes down to Knight Rider in a 1v1, and Kappa needs to pull this off. It is going to be a lot of pressure to work with, but does get taken down. But that was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant coming in. Oh my goodness, actually pull it off. So I was so engrossed in the moment that I completely missed out on the fact that they ran out of time.
And the big brain plays. Man, Kappa. He went all the way around. came in from the defender spawn entrance of C site, and the reveal to make sure that the blaze wall is rendered useless, it is just perfect. Like, Rafa just entered from that area, and he would have never expected Kappa to be on that side because he's already cleared this area, right? They were all expecting him to be somewhere on long. They didn't spot him over there as well. So then the natural assumption is that he will be in garage. That's what both the players were looking at. And they both came in from attacking the defender spawn, the long area, and there's just one place left. And Kappa was not over there. He went all the way around. It's just so good. And he knew he has the luxury of doing so, because he had a little bit of information from his teammates. Knight Rider was still on A, so there's going to be a little bit of time before he gets attacked by Knight Rider. And he knew that they will come together. They won't go, one by one. Force1 Esports won't make that mistake. So he had the luxury of going around. What a man. What a play.
What a play. And Kappa, I don't think he's missed a single flush this entire matchup. And that's just great to see. But kids, this is the reason why communication is very important in the game and outside. And well, we are going to break the game down. But right now it's time for a really, really short break. Do not go anywhere because we will be right back.
The stage is set. We are approaching the end. What could potentially be the end of the grand finals here at the Pro Series Valorant, brought to you by AORUS and AMD. Global Esports have taken two maps. For F1, pinned against a wall with nothing to fall back on, have only one way to go, and that is forward. Can they make it?
Well, desperate times call for desperate measures, and we are going to see if F1 have something up their sleeve because this map was their pick. The next map is Global's pick. And I do believe that the first two maps were definitely in Global's favor, even though first one decided to go with Haven. I don't know why, but I believe the last three maps can go either way. And if F1 managed to make a comeback and if they manage to keep themselves alive in the tournament, I feel that they might still have a chance, maybe a 10% chance, but still a chance to make a comeback and win the grand finals and be called the ultimate champions. But is that possible? Sure. How likely is it? Not very. So while it's not going to be easy, I've always said I'm a hopeless romantic when it comes to optimism. So I'll always believe.
Yeah, and they will need your romance. They will need all your love. They will need all their strength to make it to map number 5. It's not even going to be map number 4. It will be map number 5 if they want to win this one. But first, it's the set. The first obstacle in their way if they want to get to the win. Global Esports, already with a lot of momentum, have been looking stronger and stronger as the game progresses. 6-13 in Icebox, 5-13 in Haven. Do you think Ascent will end on 4-13? Or will Force One actually pull through in this game and take us to bind?
I like how you just work like Excel, Microsoft Excel. Just oh yeah, 1, 2, 3. The next one should be 4. But hey, you never know. It might end 13-11. It might end 13-1, or it might go overtime. You never know until the game actually starts. But I don't know why I have this gut feeling that Force One just might be able to inch this one out. But even if they do lose out on this, I believe the scoreline should be around 13-10. But that's highly optimistic.
Yeah, I guess optimism is all we need so far. Global Esports, these guys, I swear to God, they keep on changing things up so often that Force One is just not able to keep up. That's what the whole series has been about. They keep innovating, they keep throwing Force One out of their comfort zone, and they just don't let them come back in. Last time in Haven, they started playing aggressively right from the second round itself. They had Eskerosi pushing mid every time. If not every time, they sometimes push the A sewers, sometimes Garage, sometimes even C. So they Force One really don't know what to expect. But you know what you can expect? You guys can expect to win some cool Valorant points worth $2,750. That's a lot of money now, and that's a lot of Valorant points. You can buy battle passes, skins, and maybe even the new character.
You're set. You're set for the next 5 acts if you manage to win something of this sorts. And talking about the new character, the KO, you can definitely go out there and buy it, but you need to visit proseries.upgradewithorus.com/trivia.html. The link is right down there. Make sure you guys go out there. This trivia closes in 9 minutes. That is at 2:20 p.m. IST. So go out there and participate in the trivia. If you guys get the answers right, you might walk away with some Valorant points, and who knows, you might not have to grind KO, because I certainly didn't. I had early access, so I managed to learn a couple of lineups. And last night when hey man, I don't get to flex a lot, all right? I don't get to flex a lot because I'm a has-been, at least in terms of the competitive circuit, and I enjoy my retirement time on the casting desk where I have a lot of fun with you. But obviously, we do, and it's actually funny to see that we've not been as expressive today as we usually are when we cast together. Yeah. But jokes apart, KO is an incredibly powerful new agent. I've seen the potential, and it's just insane. And we were actually having this discussion before the game actually began, before map number 1, that KO's knife and KO's ult both suppress the opponents, but at the same time, the most important thing is that it cancels out the ult for Jet and Raze. So it doesn't completely cancel it out. You still have it. It's just that you won't be able to use it in the period where you're suppressed. And that's a massive problem, because imagine a Raze using the satchels, coming with a showstopper, and then the KO uses the knife, and the Raze is just flying like this. What do you do with just hands and nothing else? And now I've seen this happen yesterday at least 4 times.
And hopefully you will be able to fly, like a little flappy with the wings. It's okay. I have better ways to embarrass myself. Either way, let's just hope Post One Esports don't embarrass themselves over here. They are on. They have their backs against the wall. So I don't know. Will they push through this wall or will they push right through Global Esports? Just rip through their bodies with blood and gore all over their hands and whatnot. I don't know. Maybe they will be able to pull it off. Maybe we'll go to bind. Maybe this will be the end of the series. What do you think is gonna happen? Do you think they have it in them?
Yeah, we'll hop into the draft and see what actually happens. But talking about small flappy hands, I guess that's the reason I was called a baby seal a couple of months back.
Oh, yeah, I remember the baby seal. I remember baby seal.
So
Seals
there's
can't fly,
actually
though.
there's a backstory which I will discuss. But right now we have the draft coming: Rafa on Arena, Shivi, Sova, RVK, Killjoy, Scargod on Viper, and Knight. No way we're seeing a Yoru here. No, absolutely no way. But if we do
It's just
see a Yoru-
suicide move. It's all or nothing, dude. I swear to God, Yoru is, in my opinion, the worst character Valorant has.
It's
You can use it in
no,
pubs.
no, no, no.
You can.
I actually don't agree with that.
Okay, no, okay, it's a big gamble. Every time with Yoru, it's a big gamble. So, I
You-
don't know, man.
All right, let me put it this way: Yoru is the best lurker this game can ever have, ever, and like by ever I mean absolutely ever. You could be on B bomb side in the next 1 second. You can be on the A bomb side.
Yeah, but then you can use him passively, sure. But then, making those outplays work, playing very aggressively the way Knight Rider does. I don't know if that's his playstyle. But either way, no Yoru comes through. Most of the agents that are selected are pretty standard. You know, there's not too much scope of innovation in Ascent. There is a Viper that they have picked up. So yeah, there's a little bit of controller magic happening over there. But other than that, nothing really to write home about. Let's just jump right into the game and see what we have on our hands over here.
On our hands, well, I'm not sure about us, but Global Esports sure do have blood on their hands because they've been bleeding F1 out since game one. And F1 has been struggling with this, but look at this. Everyone on Global Esports' side is just so calm and composed. And in the meantime, Rossi, this man is a monster who's been sleeping today, but the rest of the lineup has stepped up, especially Skills has been playing out of his mind, and it's just great to see. But obviously, we're going to talk about F1, who need to make this work somehow. But Breach and Astra, is there going to be a grad welcome here? What? Are you kidding me? Rossi doesn't care. He's going to get taken down though, and that was a good trade. That was definitely a good trade.
Yeah, but Breach, after getting nerfed, still being viable? Question mark, question mark. There's a question mark for Kappa as well because he doesn't check the angle. RVK gets the better of him. And Global Esports, they still have the spike, but they just managed to equalize the man advantage. RVK has been picked off on market. It's just going to be down to Shivi, who has a big responsibility to either stay alive or defend the B side with everything he's got. And so far, he's doing a decent enough job, boiling it down to a 2v2. Post One do have the HP advantage. Skills is pretty low on health. He's bleeding internally, and they haven't planted the spike. No, the rotation's already here. That aftershock will discourage Scargod from peeking, but now he's in that corner, and Global Esports are trapped. They need to win these fights. Scargod overextends. That shouldn't have been possible. Skills was very low on HP. He should have been able to get that kill, but they overextend, and now this is a problem. He delivers yet again at 16 HP. I am just so mad right now. How is he able to pull this off again and again?
I'm not sure. But the fact that he does it is just great to watch. And Rossi, I like how he's just standing there still. He didn't try and battle that because he knew all he had to do was connect one shot to the chest and guarantee that kill. So that was actually good intent coming in. But talking about these rounds, Global Esports somehow making work and Skills getting a quad kill with the Frenzy. It's just really insane to watch. But this is something that I mentioned, right? Skill has been playing out of his mind, and I mentioned that before the first round started, and it's just great to see that everyone has been stepping up. But Global Esports, while they're off to a flying start, they need to carry on with this. But Rafa is going to try and fall back. Will get taken down by Skills, and whoa. Okay, Scargod is going to get destroyed right there, and Rossi trying to move in. He's going to get taken down, but Hellranger with a quick trade. It is all going to come down to two players and two players only, and that is going to be Knight Rider along with his teammate. That is RVK, but this is going to get taken down. Nope. He is going to find the kill, and RVK all alone with the Sheriff is going to try and bring it back. But is that going to happen? That is going to be the question. Kappa has given away some information, but is he going to get taken down? I don't think so. Ooh, nice try, but Kappa is going to clean things up. And Trips, what do you think? What do you think with the start that F1 has? Do you think momentum is going to swing back in their favor?
I feel like they need to just be able to adapt to what Global Esports is doing. They do something different every time. The fact that F1 Esports made that massive blunder in the pistol round, even though they had the advantage, I hope they don't get ahead of themselves over there. Like, we have established in Haven that Force 1 Esports need to play a little more aggressively and need to stop giving Global Esports all the map control. And while that is a win condition, I just hope that in the process of playing aggressively, they don't overextend. I mean, there's a delicate balance that they need to strike. And I hope they're able to do it. Finally, Force 1 Esports, these guys have the better weaponry, but now that Global Esports have their ultimates online, how do they respond? There's no Cosmic Divide yet on the side of Global Esports, so they still will have to go ahead and rely on only the Nebulas, but RVK gets detained. At least it takes down 2 people before he finally goes down, so that's nice. But Hellranger is blinding the living shit out of Rafa, but he still takes him down. And look at the expression on Hellranger's face. It just tells you everything you need to know. It was a very, very blind shot, and Rafa, with only his intuition and sixth sense, is able to pull it off. Can Kappa pull off this thing, though? They're playing a very good crossfire over here. He spots one player out towards Heavens, but has no idea that Knight Rider is very close to him. So he's going to try and go ahead, close the door on Market, but Knight Rider is about to peek him, and he's looking the wrong way.
Well, Kappa is going to be a little unfortunate that he got backstabbed, but I believe you can only expect so much from one player every single time he's in clutch. And 1v3s are more often than not going to be lost, but Rossi, in the meantime, managed to find a flag for himself, and Hellranger would have been livid the way he got taken down by Rafa. He was running around, and the new update was supposed to increase the running inaccuracy, but somehow it still works out. So quite precise gunplay, no doubt about that. And all the jokes apart, F1 do manage to find a round for themselves. They do have a decent buy as well. So I'm not quite sure what the idea is going to be, but look at Rossi. Holy hell. This guy, there's no stopping him.
There is no stopping, but hey, maybe all this agility that Force 1 Esports are dumping on them will stop them. At least for now, because they are falling back already. SK Rossi, he's going to stay in Winery and he will try to make as much noise as possible. Meanwhile, the rest of his team continues to go towards B. At least the spike is headed over there. The Owl Drone doesn't spot anyone, but then Kappa commits an Owl Drone of his own in an attempt to still sell the fake, in an attempt to show Force 1 Esports that they are indeed still present over here. And hold on, this might just be a double fake, especially with SK Rossi getting that opening kill. Might just make things a little easier, but Scargo, what a flick onto Kappa. That is disgusting. That is nutty as hell. But hold on. Hellrange is alone over here. His teammates are not with him. And maybe Skills can pick off Knight Rider. He doesn't see anyone over here. He probably won't check the angle and he gets punished. Now, Global Esports have a lot more options. They have B open to themselves. They have a little bit of control on A. With 30 seconds left, though, they need to make a decision. The only thing working in the favor of Global Esports right now is the fact that Force 1 are split up with no trading potential. If they hit Scargod right here and now, they should be able to get A site in their control. And I think A will have a pretty easy time. They're just waiting for Skills to make a move, but you need to check the angle. You need to check the angle. No, he doesn't. Oh, but he still gets it. Scargod could have turned this into a 2v2. Unfortunately, it just won't go in his favor. And now they have a tall order on their hands. Can they fulfill it?
It is going to be difficult, no doubt about that, but look at that. Lightning Fast knows the game so well. He knew for a fact, no, he's not going to get revealed over there, and Kappa's going to get taken down. Actually, never mind, Shivi's going to get taken out for some reason. I call him Kappa, but Shivi is going to go down, and RVK in a 1v3 needs to clutch this, but information's been relayed, and they know he is towards a shot, but the question is, how does he approach this? The gravity well coming in. It is not going to be easy, but RVK, I guess he's just going to try and fall back. Save this Phantom up for the next round because it's not going to be easy, but he wants to hold a shot. He wants to wait for somebody who might peek around, but is this going to be a good bet? Laying on a shot and trying to take this fight. I'm not sure if this is a good idea because if he gets taken down over here, this is going to be a problem. Yep.
No weapon saved. Staying alive after the explosion means you don't have money as well. Yeah, that does look a little rough for Force 1 Esports now, doesn't it? They got one round in the bag. They thought they had the buy round and everything working for them, but then Global Esports hit them back immediately after, and that's going to crumble their economy.
It is going to crumble the economy, no doubts about that. But here's the problem: when you don't have so many rounds to work with, and your economy is also in shambles, I guess it kind of helps if you can save that weapon up. Sure, you don't get a lot of cash, no doubt, but you don't need it either. But I guess as long as you have a plan to change things up, I guess it's good enough. But it's a shaky buy. It is
Yeah.
a shaky buy coming in from the defenders, and the global esports are looking pretty strong in the first half itself.
It's like a mixed bag of beans, and there's more sour than sweet. They've got 2 guns. Shivi also has the money to purchase a good weapon, but then Rafa and Knight Rider won't have anything. Like, Knight Rider will have to settle for maybe like a Spectre, or hey, even a Judge would do well in this situation. Why not? But then they decide against it. They all decide to save up and just go for upgraded pistols. I mean, they have the potential to hit some crispy sheriff shots, so why not?
Why not, indeed? But honestly, I'm still not over the fact that the last round of the second map, Kappa, the kind of clutch that he pulled off. I've been replaying that clutch again and again and again, and I just can't seem to have enough, honestly, because that was
Can't get over it now.
that was a Chad move. That was a Chad move, no doubt.
That's true. It's the kind of clutch that you don't really get over easily. And being the hopeless romantic you are, yeah. I see a simp in you, for Kappa.
Well, I'm not quite sure about that, but RVK is going to get taken down. Skills finding the opening, which was so crucial. But Rafa, in the meantime, is going to find a refrag. Rossi's going to get taken down. That was quite unfortunate, but Skills, once again, replying back, getting that man advantage back up. But the problem is, are they going to be able to capitalize on this? Because Knight Rider knows where Kappa is, and Kappa is going to get taken down. That was a confident shot. Could not get their second. The trades have been on point from Global Esports, and this is one of the other reasons why they are so consistent, because of their basics. They have trading potential at almost all times. The distance and the spacing between the players is good enough as well. And we saw a pristine example of how impactful or how powerful trade fragging can actually be.
Yeah, but that's just the basics, the core of global esports tactics. They obviously have a lot more advanced stuff than that. Poor Rafa. First the nanoswarm, then the aftershock, and then finally lightning fast with this phantom. That was a crispy shot. Good to see, but it won't give him much to work with.
It won't. But here's the thing: with the new update, you have 3 charges with the aftershock, and the fuse time has been reduced to a second instead of a second and a half, if I'm not mistaken. But it also does less damage. So while it can be used in a different way, but it's just a little more scary to play against the aftershock, because before, unless you were pinned in that corner, the aftershock was not that impactful.
Yeah, people had to combine it with the fault line. You know, you stun them first and then you hit them with the aftershock. Had to be a 1-2 punch, but now you can use it pretty much as a standalone utility.
True, you can use it as a standalone utility to try and damage players before you peek an angle, or maybe just throw them off. Knight Rider is going to be fairly aggressive. I'm not sure if that was required, but he's going to fall back, and Rafa has moved up. So this maybe could be the plan, but he is going to find the opening, needs to fall back, and that is exactly what he's going to do. Uses the flash, but he is not going to shy away from taking the fight, which is good to see. But nonetheless, he needs to fall back. He needs to stay alive. This could be a problem if it does not get that initial pick. I don't know if Global Esports are going to peek that, but what? In the God's name was that? Skills is going to get taken down. That is so unfortunate. Rafa needs to fall back, but Lightning Fast is going to get taken while he tried to lurk around, and look at this. The ultimate. Oh. That was unfortunate.
The intuition on this man is spot on. He knows that global esports have multiple ultimates online, and if they commit the lockdown, they want to follow up on the back of it, no matter what it takes, no matter what the cost. He'll still continue shooting through the smokes, and then Rafa doesn't even need to break a sweat. I'm sorry, yeah, Rafa just so good.
Rafa's really good, but I'm not sure if the running accuracy has been nerfed yet.
Yeah, right? He makes it look so easy, like he's just running and gunning. Of course, he probably is counter-strafing all the time, but hey, it looks unfair when he does it.
Well, when I do it, it doesn't work. So
Exactly.
it obviously feels bad to be on the receiving end, but imagine if this is the nerfed one, how crazy it was pre-nerf.
If this match was just like one day ago, this many things would have been different, honestly.
True, no doubt. But SK Rossi is going to be the one leading the charge with the Blade Storm, and he's going to try and find a couple of picks. Look at that. You see? It's not
Tasty
one big...
aftershock.
Yeah, tasty aftershock, which is quite nice. So it is going to force the player out, no doubt about that. But, well, Rossi in the meantime is just going to wait it out. RVK in the meantime is going to hold the angle as well. But I like confidence with these peaks, and he's going to go in with the ultimate. Try and... Whoa! Look at the confidence. He's going to use the knife, but that is going to fire back. Yeah. He broke the glass with the knife, but it did fire back. But I don't think that would have made a difference though, because I think only one knife hit the player on A short.
That's a little amusing. I'll tell you why later. But for now, Force One Esports are pushing deep into the territory of their enemies. They know Shivi is near generator. They are gonna throw in the stun. The Nanoswarm grenade might just stop him for a little bit, and it kills him finally. All right, now I'll tell you why it's amusing. Skills and who else is playing Astra over here? Yeah, so Skills is one of the players. The other one over here is maybe either SK Rossi sometimes, or sometimes it's Kappa himself. Both these guys, they sometimes try to walk up mid, and in the previous round, it was Knight Rider who stopped the mid assault. This time, Skills wins the lurk battle. So Knight Rider has been on the anti-lurk duty. Last time he was able to kill Lightning Fast on mid as he was trying to walk into the defender spawn and take a position on heaven. This time, Skills wins that duel. So, yeah, the war of information that both these teams have been fighting against each other, they are on an equal footing right now. And the Battle of Lurks also has been more or less at a tie. It's just that the overall battle is being captured by Global Esports. And oh my goodness, Knight Rider tried to push over there, but Skills just denies him.
Skills just denies him, no doubt about that. But Rafa, in the meantime, is going to be waiting it out. He doesn't want to overcommit. Skills finds the opening towards B-bomb side. Shiri falling down. But Rafa,
On your right.
Oh my goodness! Lightning Fast is not going to kill him. He's actually not going to kill him. The information's been relayed. He's not going... Oh my goodness, this could backfire. This could backfire. Yep, it actually did. But the problem is Lightning Fast wanted to hold on to that angle because he was so impactful, potentially impactful. But we have Scargod pushing in. And Kappa is not going to finish this one, but he does find the pick, reduces it to a 3v1 somehow, and now it's all down to RVK. Does have a lockdown to work with, but can he bring it back? We have Lightning Fast holding the angle towards the defender base, but RVK is going to peek around the corner. He's been spotted and does even have a touch to work with, but look at that from Kappa. He doesn't miss those. He makes sure that, I guess 99 out of the 100 times he's going to use the Aldron. He is going to mark the enemy.
And it is a little difficult to mark people with the Aldron, I must say, because the UI of it is not the most intuitive. So yeah, several times you might just be able to spot someone with the Aldron, but you can never mark them. And once you do get that mark, they've pinged 3 times, which lets everyone else just pre-fire onto them.
Well, that is true. But I believe that with the Aldrin, you have some leeway as well. You don't have to be bang on spot at all times. There is a dead zone, if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, look at those shock darts come in, and RVK in the meantime has been revealed. I'm not quite sure if he's just squatting over there, but Rossi is going to be the one leading the charge. He's going to try and swing this angle, because if he just walks around the corner, he might get taken out, gets the first, needs to find the second. He's just going to dash in forward. Well, that's a direction you can dash in, certainly. Gets a second. You have a lurk coming in, but Lightning Fast is going to find 2 of the easiest kills of his life. And once again, it all comes down to a 1v5 Knight Rider all alone, and he is going to fall down to Lightning Fast. So, good luck. Good mid-hold coming in from Lightning Fast.
My goodness, I don't think Force One ever expected that to come through. Like, sure, they knew that there were people on the A side. Sure, they knew that they were being assaulted, and maybe they thought a backstab could work, but then Lightning Fast, who would have expected him to be on B Link when most of his team is already on A? Like, sure, they knew that there would be lurkers, but they thought they would be somewhere else, not over there. What a man. What a lurk. Or anti-lurk, should I say, in this situation.
Well, I'm not sure if it's a lurk or an anti-lurk, but whatever that was, that worked out really, really well. And Rossi, in the meantime, trying to find that initial pick is going to get taken down. And now, Chewy with the earth, but the defender lockdown is coming in. And that is going to buy them so much time, but well, we have Kappa, lightning fast, and the Killjoy. We're gonna try and make their way towards B bombs, but do they have enough time?
You
Skills
should run.
has obviously been playing out of his mind, and now the attacker lockdown coming in. This is going to be interesting to see. This is definitely going to be interesting, but is the Jet going to overcommit this? 3 seconds and they start moving in, which is going to give them free control of the side. Ooh, oh my goodness, that is so unfortunate.
That's a Killjoy diff right there. If I
Enemy
see
remaining.
something. RBK, he continues to deliver. Oh no, Kappa, he's committed to this ultimate. He puts it back. Alright then, Kappa. You can't clutch out rounds like this. There's so much utility being dumped at him, but he just doesn't bother. He continues hustling through it, unfazed, fully deterred, and finally someone will put his killing spree to an end. Jesus, that looks scary for a second. Like, what
did.
all was not thrown at him. He had gravity stars, the gravity fell, and the stun. So many Astro Stars on him. There were shock darts. There were people who were rushing at him at the same time, and there was Oppers who were staring at him in the face, but he still wins those duels. Like, it's just ridiculous the amount of skill on this guy. Sure, Global Esports lose that round, but hey, they made it very, very expensive for Force 1. And the fact that Force 1 had to commit 2 of their ultimates, they had to use the Lockdown and the Hunter's Fury, that's just brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, see, even if you lose a round, it's crucial that you cause enough damage to the opposition so that they can't snowball on the win, on the round win, and they can't build up an economy or they can't use their utility. So I guess it all comes down to how well do you stick to your basics. Because again, I've mentioned that even with just trade fragging and decent communication, you can take down most of the teams in the country. But look at the flash and dash being on point, Rossi finding a kill, and Hellranger finding that assist. But in the meantime, Night Rider is going to try to play a little aggressive. Rossi is going to get slapped by Shivi, and suddenly it's a 3v3. But we do have the Cosmic Divide coming in from the attackers, and this could be a problem. Is this a fake? Wait a minute. This could very well be a fake, but we don't have a commit coming from either of these places. Kappa, in the meantime, finding one for himself, and this was just to throw them off. Brilliant!
Yeah, dude. Like, imagine using a Cosmic Divide to fake them out, and Rafa is just gonna be so confused right now because he's seeing more utility being dumped at him, but maybe he's in the right spot. Maybe this was the plan to go to the A side, but just a little late, and now Rafa couldn't even do much. Even Night Rider won't be able to do anything because there's people right here at the mouth of heaven to stop him.
Planted.
And this was such a weird round by Global Esports too. Like, if it throws me off guard, it definitely will throw Force 1 off guard. The ill-timed Cosmic Divide deliberately to sell the fake. And then you've got players inside of mid, you've got skills inside of B, and Global Esports is just all over the place. Force 1 do not know what to make of that information. You know, we always say it's a war of information. Yeah, you need more information to make good decisions. This time, Force 1 had way too much information. It was overloaded. And usually it's the lack of information that... He's just toying around with his food. But finally, Night Rider will shut him up. Yeah, as I was saying, usually it's the lack of information that results in the loss of a round. This time, it's too much information that results in the loss of a round.
In the half.
Because Force 1 Esports are spotting players everywhere, but which one is real, which one is fake, you just can never know. It's smoke and mirrors all over the place.
Very true. And you actually stole the words right out of my mouth. There was information overload, no doubt about that. The scoreline is 8-3 in the favor of Global Esports, and they are as dominant as they can be. Skills, again, playing out of his mind. At this point, he's creating a meta for himself. Killjoy duelist, battle Killjoy. I don't know, but it's working out. Rossi, in the meantime, is going to pull out the knives and will try and capitalize on all the information that Kappa gets him. But is this going to be enough? That is going to be the question. And look at... Whoa! Okay, then that's a crisp shot, but REK, in the meantime, is going to find a trade for himself, and that reveal is not going to do justice to Force 1. But this Cosmic Divide could be a problem, because no information can get relayed. You can't hear footsteps, but Skelly can start moving. What in the God's name was that?
Dude. He doesn't care about Cosmic Divide. He doesn't care if his teammates are not there. Like, if Skills died right there, that would have been a useless pick. He had no trading potential, but he still walks in, catches people off guard. He does it every time. This guy, he is a god of luck.
He is a god of luck indeed, but that was actually quite surprising to see that A-Long was just left open. Scargod got taken down that easily. And you don't want to give away kills that easy because, hey, that just works against you. But nonetheless, it is going to be a 3-4 retake with a man deficit. And lightning fast placing a ring. Is that going to be smoke, a gradual, or a stun? I believe that is going to be a gradual. Or what? Doesn't matter, but Skills is going to find a frag. And it all comes down to RVK. And the Soa all alone. But the Rolling Thunder coming in. And Shivi is going to get taken on without being able to do anything over there. And the scoreline is going to read 9-3 in the favor of Global Esports.
See, Mamba, every time the score gets better and better and better. With 13-6 in Icebox, 13-5 in Haven. This time a 9-3 half might just indicate that we are heading towards a 13-4 win. Fingers crossed, I hope that doesn't happen. I hope Force One Esports are able to hit back and potentially push us into the next map, maybe take us to bind. But hey, given the way Global Esports have been playing so far, given the way Skills has been stepping up for his team, it is ridiculous. 17 kills, 6 deaths. You put up one more and you will have a carry of 3.
True. But then again, you know, it's quite ironic how most of the FPS games depend on carry ratio so much, but Valorant does not follow that.
It does
rule.
not, yeah.
It absolutely does not. Your roles do not justify the amount of kills you get. And a lot of times it might seem like a Jet or maybe a duelist is not getting enough kills, but people forget the role of an entry fragger more importantly than just getting kills is to create space. And that is something that a Jet can do so well and does work out in their favor. Wow. He is
Revealing area.
he's vulnerable. He still goes out there to break the turret. Imagine he did not get that. That would have done a lot of damage.
Yeah, but Global Esports are not really falling back from this area. Like, they are not even trying to hide the fact that they want to fight, mate. They're just actively looking to brawl. And there come the flashes. There's the aggression. They're just pushing right in there. And this is going to force One Esports to go towards the A side. And there they go, where Skills is already waiting for him. Lightning Fast is prepared as well. And they just don't have anything to work with. Knight Rider, no spike on his back. It's deep in enemy territory. It's up on Heaven. I don't even know how the spike got there in the first place, by the way. So, yeah, Force One Esports just stuck in between a rock and a hard place, and it's just so awkward to see them like this.
It is honestly quite awkward to see them like that. There's no doubt
30
about that.
seconds
But
left.
Knight Rider in the meantime, he's going to get spotted. Will get taken out. Yes, I for a moment thought maybe Hell Ranger is going to get flicked. But a flick like that would probably give Knight Rider RSI.
And that is a problem. I mean,
We've
Not sure
seen that
who.
with I believe it was Simmer that is Sai who had a case of RSI in 2018.
Yeah.
He actually had to take a brief break to try and come back, and I still remember he struggled with it for almost a year, and they even went to Serbia in the meantime while they had a couple of Polish players to work with, and they boot camped in EU at least to try and play against EU teams, and they did pretty well. But getting back to what we have at hand over here, Rossi finding the initial pick is going to get quickly traded out. Scargo finding 2 for himself, but Kappa is going to answer back with a pick onto RVK, and it is still a 3v3. Shivi in the meantime is going to use the out roam, but he's a little too exposed from it. If the Reina falls down, Shivi is going to be caught with his pants down as well. But nonetheless, he is finding information towards a shot. But look at Hell Ranger. Oh my goodness, this could be huge. This could be massive because they have no idea there's a push coming in from a long, and Chibi is going to get taken down. This
Spike.
is a
Spike
problem.
down.
And I look at his puzzle.
Enemy
just
remaining.
look at his face. He's like, wait, what?
Global Esports, I'm telling you, man, they turn up the violence, they turn up the aggression, and everything just becomes so much more difficult. The fact that Global Esports fought B last round is indicative of the fact that they're not backing away from a fight. And this time, they pushed A instead. So once it's B, once it's A, and every time there's gonna be a flash and dash from SK Rossi. So you better be prepared for that. But then, after SK Rossi died, Force One Esports thought, okay, this is the end of the aggression. Now Global Esports will take it nice and slow. They will play in a more disciplined and methodical way. And just when they think they're safe, bam! Hell Ranger strikes again.
Look, this is it's not like this isn't methodical. Sure, disciplined?
This is,
Maybe
this is.
not. This is surgical. This is not in methodical. This is surgical. Oh
out.
my lord, Rossi is going to be livid because of that. He is going to be so upset. Running headshot. Sure, Riot. Sure.
With a sheriff too, not even with a
Look at his
spectre or
face,
any
look at his
spray
face.
weapon. While he was blinded. That's just... Yeah, that's a bullshit move if I've ever seen one. But Post One Esports wants to push toward Garden again. And now I'm not fully in in agreement with this decision. Hellranger has the easiest 3k of his life, and again, they push over here with the spike. I don't know why. Yeah, sure, they can have one of their players push up there just to create a distraction and maybe get the spike down the regular way, but all of them going over there, it makes spike impossible to retrieve. It was impossible to retrieve for Nightrider in the previous round. Now it's going to be impossible for RBK, and it's just so easy for Global Esports when all of them walk into Hellranger's crosshair like that.
That is true, but it all comes down to RVK with the Sheriff. Look at Lightning Fast playing behind the turret, and trust me, playing behind the turret is literally playing with 250 HP. It's very annoying, at least in pugs. Obviously, in professional matches, players can aim better than us. No wonder. Otherwise, we would have been on the other side of the camera and maybe on the server as well, Chris. But that shot, oh my goodness. You know, I like how the production always shows all of these things in slow motion because they know the impact this can have.
Oh, man. What did we say, Mamba? 13-6, 13-5? I thought it would be 13-4, but maybe this will be even worse. And it's the same flash and dash again. Rossi just keeps on repeating the same thing over and over again, and he still walks away with the kill, even though they were fully prepared for it. This time, Kappa won't let them through. The air is just gonna start spamming. And Lightning Fast again. He returns the favor with a running headshot of his own. Nightrider wants to go deep into enemy territory. He's already towards lane 2. And Kappa's just too busy dealing with the players still coming through B main. Finally, Force One Esports are able to brute force their way into a site, but this isn't over yet. Nightrider tries to dodge that flash, but oh my goodness, there's a massive earthquake. And they better be prepared because they're about to shake this whole thing up.
True indeed, but that Rolling Thunder was so on point. Both the ults we actually saw from Hellranger have been on absolute point. And I like how Rossi goes in and gets one kill. My job's done. I'm done for the round. I'm just going to chill out. But we do have our champions, ladies and gentlemen. Global Esports winning the matchup 3-0 up against Force One Esports. And F1, while they are going to be upset, while they are going to be really upset, we have Global Esports who just styled into the finals, 1-3-0, and in an even more dominant manner. Every single map got more and more dominant. Ascent was more one-sided than we ever thought could be possible because Icebox is apparently Global's one of the favorite maps to play on. But Ascent was a complete different scenario. They dominated. They absolutely dominated F1.
Yeah, and it did not feel like Global Esports were on the defensive side. Like, in the pistol round, they have 3 people rush out of B main. Next time, they have 2 people rush out of A main. And every time, no matter where you are, no matter what part of the map you're in, you will always have SK Rossi flashing and dashing. And he still gets a kill every time. It was just one time when Rafa managed to just humiliate him, but that's pretty much it. After that, SK Rossi just took it personally, and he delivered.
I'm not sure if he took it personally or not, but the fact that he just kept on repeating the same towards the end just goes on to show the no respect attitude that Global Esports have. And 13-6, 13-5, 13-3. And looks like you were right, Crips. It was almost 13-4, but Global Esports being as dominant as they could have possibly been, not even letting them in double digits territory on a single map. Bind and split were not even a question.
Yeah, they were definitely not a question. It's just... I have no words. How dominant they were. It's like they turn out the aggression and they just don't stop. And we saw this pattern emerge from Haven, you know? When Global Esports started playing aggressively in the second half of Haven, that's when they realized that they can't let Force One Esports walk away with even an inch of land. They will steal everything. And that's what it was. The entirety of Ascent was just Global Esports pressing W. Like, you remember that one round where I was super confused, right? Global Esports were all over the place. That fake Cosmic Divide came through and every one of Global Esports in different parts of the map. Yeah, that is indicative of the fact that Global Esports just want to press W and press mouse 1 in the end. Doesn't matter how, doesn't matter where. They just want to push. They want to choke Force One Esports with everything they've got, with all 5 fingers, and from every different direction as well. So they've got nowhere left to run, nowhere left to hide.
That is true. There was nowhere left to run, nowhere left to hide. And the kind of aggression, the domination, the determination, the grit. I mean, Global Esports, they go out to check every tick box possible. But while we've sung enough praises for Global Esports, I do want to talk about F1. Even now, I believe they have the potential, though they were beaten up, black and blue. No doubt they were dominated and they couldn't stand a chance against Global. The numbers don't lie, but Force One, with the players they have, they can definitely bounce back. Maybe not the next tournament, but in a couple for sure.
Yeah, I do see potential in Force One Esports, and I hope they find themselves. I hope they find their rhythm. For now, they're just gonna find $2,500 extra in their bank, and hopefully we'll see Force One Esports again in another tournament. But that is the result, ladies and gentlemen. Global Esports with the win, Force One Esports in second place, Samurai in third, and T69 in fourth place. And with that, we are approaching the end of the tournament. But don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We will have an interview with the captains of both the teams very soon after a short break. So let's see what Hellranger and the captain of Force One Esports have to say. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back to Pro Series Valorant, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by AORUS and AMD. We have the two captains of the finalist teams. We have Hellranger from Global Esports and Shivy from Force One. How are you guys feeling, eh? Hellranger, first of all, congratulations. I know you guys gonna be feeling well, but what's the scene like? What is the... How do I say this? I think I'll switch to Hindi. Mahal kaisa hai? वहाँ पे.
माहौल ठीक है like we are right now more focused on figuring out the new meta before the upcoming events. It's good we won this event, we just need to keep improving. So right now our focus is what's next on the next meta basically. And yeah, बाकी तो अच्छा ही है, event जीत गए, we are all happy.
यहाँ भी माहौल अच्छा ही है, just need to improve.
Hey man, look, it was a tough match, no doubt about that. We saw some rounds go really close, and Kappa in the meantime, he's an absolute genius. I still remember the last round on Haven, where he went all around from garage to B and came back to C and won the round. So there were crucial rounds, no doubt about that. But at the same time, you guys did show a lot of resistance to Global Esports while they were trying to mow you down. But again, a lot of factors played out over here as well, because we saw a couple of different agent picks as well, if I'm not mistaken, and also this big update coming out with revised economy and a couple of buffs and nerfs. So was it just something that caught you off guard, or do you believe that Global Esports were just the better team?
No, I don't think any updates or any new agents or anything caught us off guard. It was just us. We didn't play well, and that's it. There was no other factor. Just one thing, which isn't an excuse, but the ping issues that we were having got our mentals a bit too much. As a professional, I don't think that should happen. And again, just gonna repeat this, that it's not an excuse. Global were the better team.
That's actually great to hear. That's good sportsman spirit over there. But it's quite unfortunate though, because a lot of times in online gigs, it does happen that there are factors which are outside your control, especially with Monsoon, and I believe Hellranger has been on the receiving end as well. I'm sure in his storied career there have been stories Hellranger कि पहले हुआ होगा बारिश में पावर कट हुआ या फिर इंटरनेट चले गया, and a lot of times boot camp में multiple connections होने के बावजूद sometimes things don't work out. But leaving that aside, Hellranger, I want to come to you now and ask you this: when you guys started off today in the morning, be honest, hand on heart, did you guys expect a 3-0 win?
We expected to win. Like for us, we didn't know like if it's going to be 3-0 or 3-2 or 3-1. If it was 3-2, that's no disrespect to Force One, but for us that's a bad result. We want to be the best on all 5 maps or all 6 maps or all 7 maps that come out. So that's what the goal is. And but we are pretty happy with our performance right now. Some mistakes here and there which we need to fix, but overall we seem pretty good for the moment.
Crips?
Yeah, I think that Global Esports were, pretty good today. But Shivi, if there are a few things that you can take away from this tournament, what would they be?
It would be that I need to keep my team more prepared for what's coming to us. I'm taking it on myself, this part.
Yeah, man.
Second thing that we would take away would be that we need to work on our decision making, which comes with experience, but then again, experience is just another asset. It's not some rocket science that you need to learn with only experience. So that is what we need to work on, our decision making and our game plan / preparation as whole is what I take away from this game.
Hey, that's good, but hey, I hope you don't take it personally. I hope you don't pin all the blame on yourself. You see, all your teammates are also right there behind you trying to cheer you up, and I wish I could do the same. I wish I could say something to cheer you up as well. But hey, I know that you guys did really well today, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you in more tournaments. I expect big things from you, and I see the potential for you to become one of the best teams in the country.
Thank you.
Absolutely, there's been potential. I actually have a question each for both of you guys.
Let him speak. Let him speak. Share the camera.
अब वो कह रहे हैं let him speak. अब नहीं बोलेगा.
That's completely all right. But talking about potential, Crips, I've been following these guys since God Particle days. I think 3 years to 2.5 years, and they've been around. They have learned a thing or two. But Shivi, I have a question for you, and Hellranger, I have a question for you. But Hellranger, coming to you first.
Yeah.
Hills today was an absolute mad lad. What do you have to say about his performance?
Well, for us in our team, generally it does not matter who's fragging. Like I honestly did not see if Skills was fragging or not. I did not have any attention to that. It was just about what we were doing in the round. But yeah, it's good. When we made this team, I had those like you have those roles set in mind, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, SK Rossi was going to be the star player of the team, the duelist, and then I had in mind for Skills to be the second guy, who'd step it up after him. So it's good he's performing his role and he's playing well. And yeah, but apart from that, I did not notice the frags. So I'll have to watch the game and see how it went. If he
Absolutely.
made yeah. If he
But
made
yes,
good decisions and got the kills, then it's okay. If he made bad decisions, then he's still gonna hear from me. So it does
Yeah,
not matter if he killed
that
three
part.
or four.
which is a good way to look at things. And the reason I actually brought this up because I understand that there are roles and kills don't really at the end of the day matter, especially in Valorant. The score.
Yeah,
I'm not saying kills because
yeah.
hey, the roles don't really give you that freedom. But at the end of the day, it is an FPS game. You need to click heads to win rounds, and that is the reason I brought it because usually the most storied player or one of the most entertaining players to watch, especially while flagging out, has always been SK Rossi. It's good to see that everyone else can step up when the need arises, when somebody's not feeling it. But Shivi, coming to you, I wanna ask you this. I wanna understand because we saw your faces. We had the player cams going on.
Yeah.
Were you guys visibly stressed out in the game?
Uh, because of the rounds that we lost. I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but many of the rounds that we lost, we shouldn't have lost them, and we lost them off very silly things like really stupid. Like what I said before, we need to work on our decision making. So that kinda got us mentally, but that's what we can't focus on the previous round. We have to like obviously we are human, so we'll feel emotion, but yeah, we have to move on to the next round. And yeah, we were not stressed out, just that I don't know. It's like just natural emotion, you can say.
There's a lot
Uh,
of emotions flowing through. Yeah, Hellranger, go on.
just to add to your I was there in your shoes. We used to not in Valorant, maybe even in CS:GO times, we used to make the same mistakes or lose rounds. But what I feel is you guys should have I like the play style honestly that Force One plays, but I think you guys need to have more confidence on yourself itself.
Yeah,
And you guys can easily close out rounds, or you guys I know this is bad for my team, but sometimes you guys give us way too much respect and not
true.
play your game maybe. So I
Yeah,
think
that's very true.
if you keep doing that, then we'll keep winning these rounds against you. And
Yeah.
I think you guys should play your own game and have trust in yourself, and you guys can be much better or have a much better result overall.
Thank you, El. We'll work
I'm
on it.
loving the sportsmanship
Yeah,
spirit
such
over here.
gentlemen. Yeah, absolutely. And I believe these are the clips that should be circling on YouTube and all the social media platforms. So if you guys are watching, share this because this is what esports is about. This is what sportsmanship is about. And these, ladies and gentlemen, are your idols. These are the people that you should be looking up to because while they have, they are playing in opposite teams, there is competition between them, but they want the community to rise up together. And honestly, it gives me goosebumps seeing the fact that both these competitors can come together and give so much respect to each other, not just inside but outside the game as well. But Chivi, Hellranger, absolute gentlemen, thank you so much for joining with us, and we hope that you guys do very well in the upcoming tournaments.
Thank you, Mamba. We will try. Actually, we will. Yeah.
Hellranger, congratulations to you as well.
Thank
Congrats,
you,
El.
Mama. Thank you, Shivi. Thank
All
you,
right,
guys.
good
Thank you
luck,
for having
guys.
us here.
Yeah, it was
Bye
a pleasure
bye.
having you here, and we wish you the best of luck for your future.
Absolutely, but Crips, what gentlemen, I loved it. I absolutely loved it, and I'm not gonna lie, I had goosebumps all over my body, and I had it, lasted 30 more seconds, I would have probably had misty eyes because this is no. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because players like Shivi, players like Hellranger, who've been around for such a long time, while we have massive tournaments, we have big prize pools right now. When these guys started off, they had nothing but a pat on the back, and this is pure passion. This is real esports. It's not shit talking out there. It's not trash talking your opposition. Sure, there's banter, no doubt about that. But when the time comes to step up and be a true flag bearer of
Gentlemen.
the game,
Yeah.
they did. They absolutely did. And I love the fact that Hellranger had words of encouragement for Shivi and F1 in general. So I loved it.
Yeah, man. It was such a heartwarming moment. I really wish I could like go out there and hug these guys because such wholesomeness in this entire discussion. I love it. And especially from Shivi and Hellranger. I love it how Hellranger was, also like trying to cheer up Shivi because clearly he was taking the loss a little too hard. But hey, I feel like these guys can really bounce. I feel like Post 1 Esports can come back in the future tournaments. And of course, this is not going to be the last tournament that AORUS and AMD host. There will be many more events coming up in the future as well.
Absolutely, but I guess that pretty much brings the tournament and the day to an end. Krebs, it was a lot of fun sharing the desk with you once again. Casting for all of you lovely people out there who are still watching. Thank you so much, and obviously, I'm going to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's involved in the tournament. Starting off with the people who made it possible, AORUS and AMD, for giving us a platform, giving the players a platform to go out there and showcase their skills. Thank you so much, Krebs. I thank you as well, and the entire production crew. Bang on point with everything that happened. So big shout out to them as well. But I guess that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Until the next time, it is going to be Mom and Krebs signing off.